So stunningly beautiful. Host Matt Baker is with us now. We were just talking before, and after watching all of these TV shows that are very kind of can be slightly depressing,
full on or traumatic,
to just sit and watch this and revel.
It's an antidote, isn't it? It just takes you there, and the landscape is just incredible. Eryri, Snowdonia, you know, it's just breathtaking to be there. And this farm, 600 acres of the most nature-rich farm that the National Trust have in Wales, and that is what is on offer.
I sort of jokingly described it as X Factor with sheep dip, but the reality is, it is a sort of talent show in a way, in that all of the contestants have applied to be the tenants on this farm. They all want to farm this land, in theory, for the next 15 years.
And hopefully more.
And so one of them, one of the couples, will be given that at the end. They will win the opportunity or win that tenancy.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's what it's like a practical job interview. So the National Trust...
On telly.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. But, yeah, these are all real hopefuls. They desperately want to farm and have this opportunity. But the thing is, you know, that I suppose these days you've got to diversify in a way to make a farming business pay. There's so many assets available with this place as well, because there's a bed and breakfast that's connected to the farmhouse itself. These little bothies, which are these little converted sort of cattle sheds dotted around the landscape as well, which adventurous walkers like to go and stay in. So they can rent out for like 40 quid a night. There's ancient woodland there. There's this unbelievable lake that they have access to. Yeah. And it's in the foothills of Wythfa, Snowdon, you know, Wales's highest mountain. So there's all that recreation. So how you know, what ideas can they come with? So not only have they got to be brilliant farmers, they've also got to be really aware of all of those recreation opportunities as well. Run a viable business. They sit down, there's these full-on business plan meetings that they have as well. So the whole process is so that the National Trust can find the best suited tenant, and also, you know, as far as they're concerned, which farm is well suited to them too. It's very symbiotic, you know.
Yes, of course. There was one moment in the first show where they've got to bring the sheep down the hill, and it all seems to be going very smoothly. And then all of a sudden, you know, when they say don't work with children and animals, there's just and off they go. They scatter, and you jump superhero-like over this wall to try and help out with the rescue.
That was your gymnastic background.
Oh, I know. Well, that's it. Well, the thing is, this is not meant to be in any way a stitch-up for all of them. You know, I'm desperate that they all show themselves in their best possible light. So when you need to help out, you help out. You know, in this week's episode coming up, I'm lambing at like 2 in the morning with them as well, because that's what you do in the farming community. And actually, you know, as well as their actual practical abilities, the National Trust are looking for the right kind of people as well. And how do they react when things go wrong? And, you know, how well do they fit in?
I was quite surprised, Matt, that the range of the people that have applied, you've got a couple of really experienced farmers that bring their own farm sheepdogs with them, and then you've got 1 or 2 that have got very little experience of farming. They just really love the idea of changing their life and trying something new. Yeah,
well, the Trust are very up for giving people opportunities too. And, you know, one particular person is George, who is a builder. And he can build anything. But obviously looking after the National Trust buildings are really important too. And he's really into the running side of things. He's like an endurance runner. He runs, you know, across deserts and does 100-mile runs. And he actually went up and down Wythfa in 2.5 hours during the selection process.
Well, just because it wasn't hard enough.
Run. So he wants to bring sort of park run and all of that sort of thing. So his business plan is skewed to that. And actually, you know, you can't graze this farm very heavily. So the farming side has to fit in with all of the other elements too. And that flock of sheep that you're talking about, the Welsh mountain sheep, they actually come with the tenancy.
Right.
A flock of sheep, so they've got to see how well they can cope with them. So there's everything in this show. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's the hope and everything that all of these applicants bring to it. They desperately want this, and it's not like winning a trophy. This is winning a life-changing opportunity.
And for 15 years and onwards, as you said.
Fingers crossed,
what is lovely, Matt, is being able to sit down and appreciate, and you know this as the host of Countryfile and your farming life as it is anyway, is that there is still this urge and joy that people see around farming and the importance of farming. You've got these people that want this. But the plight of the farmer at the moment, we're seeing in the news all the time, is getting tougher and tougher and tougher, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I've you know, I've always championed British farming, you know, as much as I possibly can. That's why I do what I do and make the shows that I do. You know, I've got to be careful with my BBC farming cap on as far as what I say is concerned, but my opinions have never, ever changed. You know, we desperately want a vibrant rural community going forward. You know, our farmers are producing our food. They're looking after our landscape. It's easy to look out of the window and see our beautiful British countryside and forget that those farmers are the ones who are creating it. You know, they're producing our food, looking after our landscape, and they deserve the most support of any industry.
So when the government changes inheritance tax laws regarding farms and the passing on of farms to families that have been on that land for generations, and you can see the impact it has, how, as a farmer and a farmer who's on the land where your family are and all that sort of stuff, how does that make you feel? Well,
I'm a big believer in heritage and tradition, and, you know, we do what we do because it works and it's tried and tested over the years. So, you know, farmers, all they want to do is provide for people and look out for folk and, you know, look after our landscape and give people food. And I think that, you know, you repair that with the support, and that's really, I suppose, all I can say at the moment. It's very difficult with me to
really are hard-working members of the
But you know what?
though.
Support British farming. I've never changed my opinion on that.
Yeah, but it doesn't stop you, your love of farming, it doesn't stop you still doing a little bit of showbiz, though. You're still off with your Hollywood superstars and stuff like that. Your connection with telly and starting in Blue Peter and what you've managed to achieve, that's still an important part of your life.
It all comes actually from growing up on a farm for me. You know, that I have a very sort of practical outlook on life, very creative way. I do a lot with my hands. I love that. I don't get lost in books because I'm dyslexic, so I've never had that sort of thirst for that side of things. But for me, there's no doubt about it. Growing up in the countryside has made me who I am, you know what I mean? It just has done, and I couldn't live without it. When I first moved down, you know, for Blue Peter, I've only lived 6 months of my life without a flock of sheep, and it was a very unhappy time for me.
I know. I read about this, like you found yourself a little cottage.
Yeah,
got
with
yourself
a
little field.
And yes, got some sheep, and then it meant that I could bring one of our sheepdogs back, you know, from up home, and came down. Meg was on Blue Peter, and people absolutely loved her. Yeah. And but for me, it's, you know, it's deep rooted, and I think it's the same for these people as well. You know, these tenants that they just desperately want that life, and you
can see that.
It's brilliant.
Have your kids got the bug as well?
Yeah, I mean, they've never lived without a flock of sheep. They're very lucky. You know, I feel like I work hard to try and give my children the same upbringing that I had, and all those kind of lessons of responsibility. And you don't get it anywhere else than on farms. As you say, you know, when you were just talking to Kat about that feeling of lambing, you know, those experiences are just... They're incredible and they stay with you forever, you know. It's so base. I think that's what we all hanker after.
I used to say, it was such an amazing experience, and every time I used to go back to the farm, I could tell that the sheep used to look at me with a sort of rice
like a knowing eye.
He looked after us.
Here he comes.
Here he comes.
He's a city boy, but he's got farming.
Yeah, exactly.
The Shepherd
by name.
Oh, dream on. Our Dream Farm with Matt Baker continues at 7:15 this Saturday on Channel 4.
To be fair, I think what Miller and Molly used to say was the sheep used to run the other way when they saw me coming. Not again!
Just smelt a bit.
More of a sheepdog.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out, and we'll see you in the morning.
In a world first, Robert De Niro may have finally met his match as he comes face-to-face with a titan of daytime television.
As he teams up with Deborah Messing for a new movie, let's take a look at what happened when the one and only Robert De Niro met the one and only Alison Hammond.
All right, Bab.
Do you know what? It's so good. Robert De Niro plays two characters. The hair and makeup, so good. All right, Babs. All right, Babs. Who's doing this interview, you or me? Rock, paper, scissors? OK. 1, 2, 3. Oh, shoot. Hey, you still going to tango tonight? Well, you know, babes, it takes two. The Alto Nights is set in 1950s New York and tells the tale of two gangsters, Vito Genovese and Frank Costello, as they battle for control of the city. The film stars Deborah Messing, famous for her role as Grace in Will and Grace, and the legendary Robert De Niro, who plays both lead roles, Vito and Frank.
This is a road that I'm not going down.
Deborah and Robert, it's so lovely to meet you both. I love the film. I can't believe you got your head blown off straight away. Straight as soon as the film starts, I was like, what is going on? But I also didn't realise You played 2 roles.
Yeah.
It was so, so good. I mean, did you get double bubble?
No.
Do you need a new agent, Bab? I could be your new agent.
Yeah, okay.
So what made you say yes?
I just thought it's more of a reason, more of a justifiable reason to do another gangster movie, other than working with everybody I've known all these years and worked with so many times. So it was good.
And Deborah, obviously, you get the call. You're going to be working alongside the legendary Robert De Niro. Yeah. What mode do you go into? Do you start watching all his films? What do you do?
Oh yeah, I went back and watched all of his gangster films. But yeah, I pinched myself, and I felt like this is a really special project.
The thing is, you've got really funny bones, you have, yet you are so good and serious in this. Was it challenging though? Because she's up and down, she's such a supportive wife.
It was challenging mostly because she was a real person. But there's something, I don't know, delicious about doing a period piece. And it really just helps you just lose yourself in a way that modern pieces don't. And I loved every minute of it.
All of a sudden you want to be half thin, half out, half a racketeer. You can't have it both ways. You're either in or you're out.
Your dogs were in the movie as well?
Yes.
Was it one dog playing 2 characters?
No, it was 2 dogs. That would have been more difficult. You never know.
Yeah, I can't believe you got him in on it. That's so good. Did they enjoy it?
What?
There's one bit there where you're dragging the dog.
No.
Is that what your dogs really like?
They were a little, they didn't know what was going on. Where are we going? It's not like this was a walk they did every day.
Well, and they had mink coats on.
They had mink coats on.
It was so cute. They're so lovely. Did they get paid? Did they get the dollar?
That's a good question. You're going down a very dangerous road. You know that.
Robert De Niro has been nominated for countless awards and has won 2 Oscars for his acting in The Godfather 2 and Raging Bull. So there's only one question I need to ask. So how does it feel being known as a goat?
As a what? A ghost?
A goat.
A goat.
It means the greatest of all time, and you are known as a goat. How does that make you feel?
Well, that's a nice feeling. I'm flattered.
Oh. Well, let's play a game then and lighten the mood.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to give you some gangster names, and you have to decide if they're real gangsters or they're just my mates from school.
Okay.
Ice Pick Willie. Is that a gangster or one of my school pals? It is a real gangster. Big Belly Bowden.
Big Belly Bowden?
Bowden.
It's one of...
You've got to decide,
okay,
Bob.
Okay.
Come on, Bob,
school.
don't mess around. It's a school. It's correct, well done. It was my friend John, because he used to drink a lot of milk. He used to get a really big belly, and everyone used to call him Big Belly, so there you go. The Wizard of Odds, gangster, or one of my school pals. You're correct. It is a gangster. It's a real gangster. Krusty Robinson. You're incorrect. Sorry, Bob. You're right, Deborah. Snowy Robinson. She had a very snotty, crusty nose.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, sorry.
You couldn't give her a Kleenex?
Yeah. So the winner is... It's you, Deborah. And I know you're allergic to flowers, so I got you some fake ones. There you go.
Oh, and they're gorgeous.
They're beautiful. There you go with your dress.
So much. They're beautiful.
You're welcome.
Sorry,
Alto
Bob.
Night. Sorry, Bobs. It's a wonderful movie. Now we're going to do the interview again. However, I'm going to do it with a different character. Are you up for it?
Good, yeah.
I mean, I think she actually went, sorry, Bobs.
She did
a
say
mixture of Babs and Bobs.
That's what you do with Robert De Niro.
I mean, casual, right?
To be fair as well, I want to meet all of Alison's mates from school.
So do
Big
I.
Belly Bowden.
The one with the crusty nose as well. Definitely wiped it on
And
his
thanks for
sleeve.
visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning. Now then, our next guest started out as a teenager in pop groups Street Band and Q-Tips, but it was a successful solo career that saw Paul Young transition into a teen idol.
So good. All our yesterdays.
Love it.
No, all our yesterdays as he prepares for his new UK tour. Paul joins us now. You're off again. So you were on tour last year with the release of your coffee table book as well at the same time.
That's right, yeah.
And then you're back on the road. There's no stopping you.
No, it's similar to that because it was a success.
Yeah.
And the promoter wanted to add some more dates. But I've done a reshuffle on the show, so there's a few different things being talked about in the show. Because what I do is I tell stories behind things that happen, you know. People might see it on TV. I go, yeah, but how that happened was this and that, or something happened on that particular day, you know. So we tell stories. And there's a lot of things on the road that happen to you that you don't think is going to happen to you as a musician, but they do, you know. And so they're like backstories behind the end thing that people see. Yeah. And then also we show some videos, talk about those. And we've changed a few of the songs that we do. We're doing 6 acoustic songs now. And it plays the first 2 albums off against each other, really.
OK.
There's no parallel secret of association, so we're both really big.
Yeah.
And it'd be interesting to see in various places, one show of hands might say no parlay.
So they can choose. So the audience are going to be allowed to choose which song
I might
they
even
want.
go, well, it all depends which one you choose. And if you choose the second album, I'll be doing this song. And if you choose the first one, I'll be doing that next, you know.
Power to the people.
Yeah, I love the idea of all the stories, though, because there are so many stories that
there's so many, yeah. We've got ones called The LA Doctor. I had to meet a mafia guy once, and that was a bit of a shocker, yeah.
You survived, you lived to survive the tale,
because he took his girlfriend to the show and wanted to show off a bit, but we had to rush off because the record company were going to give me an award in a nightclub. And so he was a bit annoyed, so I had to be arranged to meet him.
A meeting with the mafia boss.
You don't want to annoy them.
I expand on that one.
I'd look forward to that one. But there's so many. I mean, there's a last-minute duet with George Michael at Wembley. How did that come about?
Yeah, that's another one. The backstory to that is he was never going to be there at that point because when it was announced, he'd already got something in the diary that he was going to do. And but I think it was the kind of thing, whether it was a personal appearance or whatever, it was something where he said, I'm going to try and move the time that I'm doing it, and then I'm going to do everything I can to get to the Prince's Trust. And so when we got there, they told me he wanted to do every time you go away, and I said, I just did it. I've done 3 songs. And then they said, yeah, but it would be great if you go back and do it with George on the encore. So we just had 10 minutes to run through the song, and he remembered everything I said. Didn't put a foot wrong, you know.
Just randomly said, I just want to do...
Yeah, let's do it.
He said it was his favourite pop song that was in the charts at that time. And he said, I know all the words, so I won't need a cheat sheet.
How amazing is that, Paul?
I love the idea of that time as well, when you almost didn't meet David Bowie because you were in LA and in a restaurant. I do things like that all the time where I get a bit shy to say hello to people.
Yeah.
In actual fact, you always should. He came over to you, didn't he?
He did, yeah. So I said no because then it draws attention that he's there, and it was in a kind of a corner
with his wife.
Yeah, with his wife. And so we left it, and we sat down, and then I'm looking at the menu. I got a tap on the shoulder, and I turn around, and I look down, and he's there. He's crouching down, and he just said, "I thought I'd come and say hello," which was he's such a gentleman.
Amazing.
Yeah, amazing.
You see, the mountain came to Muhammad. That's what it was. You see, you sit and wait for. That's how it goes. How special. There's so much in it as well. Band-Aid, of course.
Yes.
You know, and of course, what has become such an iconic song that has made so many incredible moments and stories and money for really important charities. You got the opening line.
Yeah. Well, as you can see, I'm reading it there because it was all very new to me. I thought that, well, I'd got the bit in the middle first, and I did that quite early on. I think I was one of the earliest people to turn up, and Spandau weren't far behind. And since then, I've watched, because you remember things a certain way, and then actually you go, oh, no, it wasn't.
No, yeah.
I thought they left it until the end of the day before I got the first 2 lines. But watching it back, you can see other people that came after me, like Boy George and that. You can hear my voice in their headphones. So it was at some point during the day, I thought I was finished, and they said, can you have a go at the first 2 lines? And you hear Tony do it, I think, and maybe Simon as well.
Simon
and then they must have decided quite early, let's go with Paul's.
And let go with Paul.
Winner, chicken dinner.
And do you know why they went with yours?
I don't know, other than I thought I did it very gentle, and so it gives the song a chance to build. That's the only thing I...
Well, we've actually got Midge at yours response to this, because
We've actually got Midge.
We've actually got Midge. Well, our producer is Midge's daughter, and I said, get your dad to give us a reaction to this, because you've said, I'm not 100% sure why they chose my voice, and this is what he said this morning.
Yeah.
Paul has one of the most distinctive voices in the UK at the time, as well as being hugely popular. We needed to grab people's attention straight away, and that's why he launches the song. And it does exactly that, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
It's so distinctive, it's so powerful.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely
that's nice
amazing.
Midge.
And then you also went on and did Radio Gaga as well, but you never got to meet Freddie.
No, this is the thing all the way through. I didn't get to meet him at Live Aid.
No.
I've had so many close shaves. The guitarist Jamie that's doing the acoustic tour with me, he was working with Queen and Brian May for a long time, and he'd met Freddie a few times as well, you know, but not me.
Oh,
it's such a shame.
We've got too much to talk about.
Yeah,
We're going to have
do.
to come to see the gig. Paul will talk you through so many of these stories about so many of those moments. You've hurt your leg as well, sadly. We haven't got into that. Fingers crossed you're OK for the tour, because that's been pretty brutal, hasn't it? The recovery from it.
Yeah, the recovery taken a long time, but I think I've got to the point now where I look a bit saddle sore.
He just walks a bit like a pirate.
Just do it sitting down. That's the lovely thing about an acoustic set.
Yeah.
It's lovely to see you. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
And sharing some of those stories.
Tickets for Paul's tour from No Parlay to The Secret of Association are available now.
That'll be a really,
It'll be
really
amazing
special.
night,
Oh, hello.
yeah.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning. She became a staple on our screens in hit shows like Mr. Selfridge and Sherlock, but for her latest project, Amanda Abington is taking centre stage. She stars in a brand new play, and she's here to tell us more about it. Lovely to see you this morning.
Thank you for having me. Hello.
Going back on the stage.
Yes. Yeah, I was on it last year, which was quite a harrowing play. This is more light-hearted and funny and poignant.
But quite sort of complex. For your character's complex.
Yeah, I hate my character.
You don't like your character?
I hate her, no, because she's the antithesis of me.
So explain a little bit about what the play is.
So the play is called This Is Not a Happy Room, and it's by Rosie Day. And it's about a sort of dysfunctional family who come together in Blackpool in this horrible reception room for their father's third wedding. Wow. And I'm the wife from the first marriage, and we have 3 children together. And we are here for his third wedding, and we're all waiting for him, and he doesn't turn up, and he doesn't turn up, and it turns out that he dies. And it turns into a funeral. And then so what happens is it unravels, and you find out all these secrets within the family, and you realise why some of them are dysfunctional and why they don't get on. And it's very poignant, very funny. And my character is Esther, who's just awful. But you realise why at the end of the play. There's a beautiful twist at the end of the play, and you realise why she's like this. But she kind of just is not a very good mother, and dismissive and brutal and sarcastic and biting. And I'm in the rehearsal room, and every now and again I'll sort of get really loud. I'm not like this. Please, can we just all have a cuddle, because I'm being horrible to these children, and it's horrible. Yeah. So it's good though. It's wonderful.
Yeah,
I was going to say, isn't that quite fun to play though? As well, to play someone who is a bit of
completely, because I
baddie
can't do that with my kids, because they're firm but fair. Yeah. But she's relentless. So it is lovely to do. It's a release, but at the same time you come away thinking, please don't actually hate me, will you? Please, because I'm not like that.
I mean, you're starting at the King's Head Theatre as well, of course, in Islington, which is a very small, intimate theatre. So you're going to be able to feel the reaction from the audience as well.
Absolutely, yeah. And we're on a thrust stage, so we have like 3 sides, and it's like they're in the room with us. That's what we want it to feel like, that they're actually part of the guest list and they're in the room. So it's wonderful, and everybody in it is fantastic. It's a wonderful cast.
Yeah. What's it like in comparison to filming TV or being on screen? The difference in a theatre, do you have that real kind of, it's a do or die moment? You have to get this
and you're
right.
always on it. Like you all have, I can't. As I'm getting older, I can't drift. It's like sometimes you think, I wonder what I'm going to have for dinner when I get home. But you can't. I can't.
That's not ideal.
No. So you have to be. And what's brilliant about doing theatre is that you're present and in it and listening. And every night is different because you get energy from the audience. So whenever each audience is really different, so you can feed off that, and then you can play different type things and stuff.
What'll be interesting, especially if she's such a divisive character up until the end, you will be able to feel that, won't you? And there's going to be different moments.
I mean, thank God there's a payoff for her. There really is at the end, and you kind of and you're left conflicted, going, "Oh no, that happened to her." But there are lots of wonderful twists in it. Rosie's an amazing writer, and it's if you've ever been in any kind of dysfunctional family or any family generally, this is the play for you. It's very funny.
That might be helpful for all the cut. This was Marcy was in early. This might have helped.
Can I take that?
Yes, you can take that.
Take that with me.
This is available.
That would be great.
You can help with that one. The idea of bringing a new play to the stage as well.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're going to do it in London, then you're going to Windsor.
We go to Windsor, and then hopefully, if people like it, hopefully it'll have more of a life. But honestly, it's joyful. It's wonderful being back on stage again. And I did a play last year, which was very heavy, and it was a true story about rape, and that was very hard to do. This is such a departure from that, and it's so lovely because we laugh every day, and the cast is so funny and brilliant, and the director's wonderful. It's this is a happy room that we're in,
Yeah.
It's
talking of happy rooms.
Yeah.
It's so nice to see you. You look so good.
Do I?
And when you just said it's a really joyful play, you can see it in you.
Yeah.
After quite a tricky year.
It's been tricky, yes, it was. I mean, we don't want to go over old ground, obviously, because that was done, and I'm happy with what happened. Well, not happy, but I don't regret what happened. And it's time to move on for everybody now. But it was one of the hardest years of my entire life. And having to battle that was tricky.
Yeah.
But it's good.
Yeah.
Onwards.
I have to say, though, you look amazing. Like,
Do I?
do. Yeah, you look all sparkly.
Oh, you're so lovely.
Twinkly
It's because
again.
I've had 11 puppies at home. That's probably why. My dog.
11
We had
puppies?
3 Dachshunds. We've got 2 girl Dachshunds and a boy Dachshunds. And before Christmas,
look,
that's me learning lines with them all on me. And so the end of last year was just an amazing thing because both our Dachshunds gave birth to 5 and 6 puppies 3 days apart.
That's puppy therapy in action, right there.
It literally was. I should have sold tickets because people could just come around and they're just... We've got 3 left now, so we've got 3 little girls left. So if anybody would like a Dachshund...
How fabulous.
Yeah, so that was a nice...
The one thing we did say before the break was that the wedding plans have gone on hold.
They have, yes, because we just want to...
It's not Dachshund-related issues, is it?
We're going to try and train them to be bridesmaids.
Yeah, OK.
No, we just want to get this year out of the way as well. We've still got things that are hanging over us in terms of, like, litigation and stuff like that with various things. So we want to get this year out the way and then focus fully on having a wonderful celebration next year.
He is the most extraordinary human being I think I've ever met.
I love him with all my heart. He has been such a rock and is so incredibly inspiring every day. And
is there ever a moment he's not positive? I mean, does it get a bit annoying that he's always so positive?
No,
Do you know what I mean?
He
Like
really is. No, even when he's
once?
negative, he's positive. You just go, shut up, Jonathan. No, he's wonderful, and we have. Even last year, going through everything that I went through, he made me laugh every single day, and he's just an inspiration completely. Yeah, he's my heart. He has my heart.
Support
It's
is so
a lovely
important.
thing to say. You just said about being he's an inspiration to you, but you're an inspiration to your children as well, because has Joe's gone into acting now?
Yeah,
you're
all on his own.
Yes. Wasn't he in a school play?
He was in Guys and Dolls.
And he got an agent to come down.
An agent, there he is, look at them. Oh, they're just so wonderful. God, they're gorgeous.
Aren't they?
God, how did I do that? How did I do that? And yeah, I'm so lucky. He got there was a teacher that works there who's also an agent, and she came to see the play and put him up for this job, and he got a recall, and now he is starring in Stephen King's new adaptation of The Institute, which is coming out this year, and he's the main part in it. And he went 4 months in Nova Scotia, all on his own.
Wow. Talk about grabbing the bull by the horns and getting
yeah,
on
they're
with
both
it.
very
hadn't spoken to you, hadn't spoken to his dad, and gone, I really
No,
fancy the idea of doing
he
this.
did, but he didn't want me or his dad to be part of it, so he didn't tell anybody. He just did it, and I helped him with his self-tape, but I didn't need to help him. His instincts are completely there as an actor. And Grace as well, they're both naturally very, very talented. It's irritating how talented they are. She's also a fantastic artist as well. And
not one of those really talented people.
Yeah, and she's nice.
Oh, Gordon
Bennett.
The 3 of you, maybe even the 4 with Mars as well, together in a play, something. Could you see yourselves working together?
Completely, I would be honoured to work with any of them. Yeah, I think they are really good. I would be bad, I'd have to tell them if they weren't. I would, because it wouldn't be fair.
No, it's all right.
So if they weren't
be
good
honest with
actors, I'd say, maybe we should try something else. But they are good at it, and they're modest and good kids. I'm very proud of them.
It's smashing to see you.
Thank you so much for having me.
It really is,
It's
Amanda.
lovely to see you both.
Amanda is starring in This Is Not a Happy Room at Islington's King's Head Theatre from the 26th of March. Then they go down to Windsor. And fingers crossed they'll be doing it more around the country.
Thank you.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning.
Doesn't love a piece to camera walking along a beach.
Oh, it's heaven, isn't it?
Well, doesn't get better than that in Langkawi, does it?
Can I just say, you two,
yes, you
amazing.
Can. Oh, you can, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? No, seriously, because you make the job look so easy. I know what it's like. I know how difficult it is.
Hey, you
and
did
I
the
love
show.
him,
You were
you two. You're
great.
fantastic.
You were great, Paddy. It's so lovely to see you on the sofa.
I know I'm great. But I'm giving you two a little
Oh,
lift.
thank you, darling. It's lovely. But this show is honestly one of the best shows
It's great
ever.
fun, isn't it?
Because you don't know whether they're going to go for the gift, or whether they're going to stick, you know, look after everybody's back, or they're just selfish people. But is there a twist?
Well, the main thing with the show is, you know, in life, and we've all got friends and family like this, you're either a person who saves for a rainy day and squirrels it all away, or you're living in the moment and you're absolutely just splashing the cash and you don't think about
that would be
tomorrow.
me.
Well, this is it. So what happens with a group is it's a really lovely mixture of people from all different walks of lives, all different social standings. So they've all come to it on episode 1 with like, I'm just going to play the game, get as much money as we can, and we'll do it for the team. About half hour into the first episode, that goes out the window.
And why is that? Is that because of the temperatures? Is because it's so hot, it's uncomfortable? Why do you think it goes out?
I just think it's human nature. I think, you know, sometimes you go into a situation, don't you, think, right, I'm going to play it like this, you know. And a lot of shows you watch on TV, especially if they're reality-based, everyone goes in with a game plan.
Yeah.
But it just goes out the window, doesn't it, after you've done a couple of days. And out there in Langkawi, it was so hot. It's like being in a steam oven. You know, it's just, you just move and you're wet through. So it was really uncomfortable, and we really put them through it. And some of the temptations on this series, because it's series 2, bit of money now. Oh, Channel 4 have gone, oh, this works. Let's get involved.
Put the money into it.
So we've got, like, we've built swimming pools in the jungle, Chinese restaurants, we've got a British pub.
Chinese restaurant.
Yeah, you need that.
Right.
These, honestly, spas, it's absolutely mind-blowing when you see the temptations. But, you know, it's interesting because one of the guys, David, he's a vicar. And I thought, right, and he's rocked up day 1, all the gear on, and I thought, right.
Got morals.
Yes. How's he going to play it? And it's interesting watching it change. You know, good luck to his congregation.
What is it that they want when they're in those sort of temperatures? Is it? It's not a Chinese. Is it a Chinese restaurant?
Well, you know, there's big temptations like that, and then we give them secret ones as well. So it might just be a coffee and a donut, right? But no one knows about it. So at the end of the day, they find out the money's gone off the challenge.
Are they normally very hungry? Are they normally very...
Yeah, well, they do tasks during the day, so they might have done, like, a 10-mile trek through the jungle. It takes it out of you. And a coffee and a donut at the end, you know. But the trouble is that coffee and donut might be 10 grand.
Yeah.
Which I realise people watching in London going, reasonable. But everywhere else in the country thinks that it's expensive. So they'll take that, and then at the end of the day, when they do the kind of, like, right, we've got the figure in what money's been spent. So they go, hang on, where's this 10 grand gone?
Yeah.
And someone sat there with all that sugar, going, I've no idea.
And do they come clean, do you think? Or is it like...
No, some of them don't. Honestly, I were out there, and every day there's a plot twist. It is insane. I really enjoyed it, and this group of people taking part in this show just all brings something to the table, you know what I mean? But I think it's great to watch as a family. It's one, if you've got teenagers, they'll be all over it. And it just gets you talking about what would you do if you were in that situation, really.
All those best shows do, I think, don't they?
Yeah.
It's so good. Are you, like, in the wilderness with them, or are you in a lovely luxury hotel?
Oh, luxury hotel.
All the time.
I look at them with binoculars, with me fluffy gown on, going, oh, that looks awful. No, I would down there with them. But half the time they don't know I'm there. I'm sort of, like, behind a tree, You know what I mean? I'm narrating it to the camera and what have you, but it is really uncomfortable. I mean, it is extreme, that place. It's a beautiful island, but not if you're in the jungle sort of camping.
Oh, I can't wait to see it now.
Right, yeah.
I can't wait to know who wins. You know, don't you? You actually know.
I do know, and let me tell you, my jaw is still on the floor.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Someone you don't expect?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah. It's
You present location shows as well. You get so immersed in the whole
absolutely.
that you are genuinely a viewer, aren't you?
And you become a part of it because
Yeah.
you're out there and you're watching all the twists and turns, and you sort of you can't be seen to lead anyone, but you feel like going to someone like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Just do this.
When I used to work on the SEA, I did that. It's a sort of early version of the SAS
I
show.
remember that.
Yeah, you know, I used to literally just smuggle Mars bars onto set and just go because they just couldn't eat anything and they were so hungry. Like,
So nice.
because they were just like,
I loved you.
Yeah, exactly.
What's amazing is he snuck a Mars bar past an SAS operative. What's that saying for our special forces? Sending all here with a Mars bar.
Listen, let's talk Palladium. You're on a Palladium tonight.
Palladium tonight.
You should be on the sofa right now. You should be
I'd be
practicing.
fine. I did a show in Bath last night and Palladium tonight, and I'm really looking forward to it. I've not played central London for about 15 years, and you kind of, you know, when you're touring, you go all over the place and what have you. And I don't know, I just kind of. It wasn't a conscious decision. I think the last place I played with the Apollo, it was a great show. So doing the Palladium, though, with all the history behind it, you know what I mean? I've done the O2, I've done the Apollo, I've done pretty much it. That's the only place I've not done, and I'm really looking forward to it,
It's very
honestly.
intimate there. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I love old-school theatres.
Yeah.
I think, you know, even if you've not got a microphone, just how they were built back in the day, you know, the acoustics and everything else, it's just a lovely atmosphere.
Everything though. It's this where the stairs take you. It's the little nooks and crannies of old theatres.
Yeah, exactly. I'm really looking forward to it.
It's been lovely just being out on the road again, just touring.
It is, yeah, actually. I've kind of, you know, I think, you know, anyone who does a tour, there's a part of it where you go, oh, how many have I got left and what have you? But I think at the age I'm at now, weirdly, this is the most I've ever enjoyed a tour. I think it's definitely the best I've done, and I'm very present on this, whereas back in the day, I was just half cut. You know what I mean? We're next, where are we? Do you know, and I really feel it off the audience. And in the second half, without getting too heavy, and it's not heavy, and I explain it during the show, you know, I talk a little bit about sort of, you know, mental health and autism and a lot of subjects where people kind of get a little bit
nervous,
standoffish about. But I always find the humour in everything.
Yeah.
And I think it's the best. I certainly helps me cope with certain things. So I kind of feel as though when I do that on the second half, you really feel the audience like engage with it and talk. You know, it's just lovely. It's a really good show. If I don't say so myself. Get our BAFTA out.
Yeah. Good luck tonight.
Paddy, good luck, sweetheart.
Oh,
good luck. And you can catch Tempting Fortune at 9 p.m. on Sunday. Hi, everyone. Just wanted to say thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. Now, listen, we upload new content every day. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning. Every parent's nightmare. Stephen and Ashley join us now. Welcome to the sofa. It was so good. We watched it last night. Absolutely incredible. I was like gripped. I went on to the next episode and then fell asleep, because obviously, but I wanted to carry on and carry on.
Thank you.
But it's so good. What inspired you to write this?
It was, honest to God, I'll to be honest, completely honest. I read an article in the paper and it was about a young girl who's been stabbed to death by a young boy.
Yeah.
And then a couple of months later, I was watching the news and there was another story about a young boy who stabbed a young girl to death. And I just, if I'm really honest with you, it hurt my heart. And I just thought, as a parent as well, you know, it just kind of made me think, what's going on with society?
Yeah.
What's happening today where this is becoming a regular occurrence? And you know that beautiful saying, it takes a village to raise a child? Well, in a way, I think that we're all kind of slightly accountable, you know, from the side of the parenting, the school, the political structure, you know, the society itself, and then what we didn't have when we were kids, social media, and the influence of social media.
Just huge.
They parent our kids just as much as we do today. And we're not pointing the finger specifically at any one thing. We're just saying, let's talk about this, do you know what I mean? Let's bring this into our awareness.
I think that's what's so powerful about it, is it's in one take, which is still head-scratch. I mean, it's an incredible job your director did and you guys have done. But it's that normalisation, like your house is normal, your child is normal, everything he's got like he's still a child. The fact there's stars, there's like the solar systems on the wallpaper. It's the little parts of it where, you know, he's in the witness room and you tell him to eat his cornflakes. It's all of those things that, as a parent, you just sort of resonate with because this is still a child. And you rarely see a drama from a perpetrator's family's point of view as well.
Exactly. That was another thing we wanted to do. We wanted to show a different narrative. But we also wanted this to be, you know, it could be your people next door. Or more importantly, it could happen to any one of us.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's why we kind of decided to make this story.
It is unbelievable. You just touched on it then, the fact that it's one take, which is incredible. I mean, what are the logistics of doing a one take and how difficult is that actually? If it goes wrong, do you have to start again?
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Do you?
I mean, there's, you know, there's huge amount of planning that goes into it. We spent like 2 weeks, a week rehearsing, with just the actors, a week with the actors and camera, and then a week shooting. So you do like 2 takes a day, right?
Yes.
And, you know, you get 10 chances, basically, and you have to get it within that.
Matt Lewis, our DOP there, superb.
Yeah.
So by the time you start, it's almost like theatre. It's almost like muscle memory, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. I mean, I came to set thinking it was going to be a blast, like I was going to have a blast or whatever, and then I found myself every night crying and rocking myself to sleep, like with my script.
No, babe, I've got working with Stephen again. I'm going to have so much fun on
Top
set.
Boy was a breeze.
That was a breeze.
The thing, see, what we actually do within this, with the structure of this, we combine both disciplines, so you marry them together. So you've got that the liveliness and the spontaneity of theatre, you know, and that kind of energy that creates. But then you've got the naturalism and the realism of television and film camera. But what that does as well is both us as actors and the crews, you're one team.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So you can't, like, ad-lib, you can't, like, go off.
No, look, there was room for that.
there?
But everyone just had to be aware that whatever happens, you have to go with it. Once that train goes and you're on it...
We're on it.
That's it. You know, so whatever happens, you got to go with it.
And you're on it together.
And sometimes that made for beautiful... You know, beautiful moments that we weren't expecting.
Didn't you rock up on set with a bit of a dicky back as well?
Yeah, my back was gone. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I had a bad back. I was playing basketball with my daughter the day I was meant to get the train, jumped, and my back went jarred a bit.
You came in with a wheelchair.
Oh, yeah.
Was you milking that bit, though? Was you milking it a little bit?
No, not at all. I mean, listen, I was so upset with myself.
I'll tell you what, though, when Hannah and Joe Johnson saw him, when Hannah, the producer, who's also a wonderful wife, fellow love, when they saw him, what was their face like?
It was a picture. Yeah, we didn't think we was going to be able to do it, to be fair.
Because you had running scenes and everything, didn't you?
Yeah, but by that point, I mean, that was episode 2, but by that point...
he was OK.
I was OK.
You look good.
Yeah, he ain't running fast there, though, is he? Look, that's a... What was contentious?
No, hold on.
It's a contentious point.
Let's not get into the running thing. It's acting running.
Yeah, that's bad. Watch, he nearly gets knocked over here by a motorbike. No.
Oh, it's so good.
So what you have to understand as well, Dermot, don't, you know, the lad can run, but that's the camera as well. But that's Dad's running. That's Dad's running.
I
but
knew
also,
this was going to come.
you have to take into account the whole crew, you know, the movements across the road, locking the road off. That's why this crew, the entire crew, I'm not being, you know, I'm just going to be very honest, they're the best crew I've ever worked with.
What a cast as well. You've got some great actors.
We've got an amazing
Aaron Doherty. A word about Owen Cooper, because the young kid, he is just phenomenal.
Magic.
Yeah, he's unbelievable.
Yeah. Really is magic.
I think he's a once-in-a-lifetime generational talent, you know what I mean? He's phenomenal. We saw over 500 kids, and Shaheen Baig, who's just marvellous, and Philip Barantini, our director, who, you know him, I've known for years. He's a good mate. But
I think Ashley's the nicest copper I've ever seen.
So measured and calm,
isn't he? So measured, so calm. I really like... Did you do some research into the police as well?
We did, actually. I went on a raid with... It was with your cousin, wasn't it?
Yeah, you did, yeah.
Stephen's
My cousin was the copper, by the way.
Yeah.
We're about to bust Stephen's cousin.
Let's make that clear.
Stephen's cousin was asleep in the bed when he was just...
I mean, listen, it was cool. It was cool. It was the biggest anticlimax ever, because it was like...
Oh, really?
It was the wrong place or whatever it was. And it was good. You know, I wanted to do a lot of research to understand procedure and whatever, but actually, it turned out, like, getting onto set, it wasn't about him being a policeman. It was about the heart. The heart of it was he's a dad.
He's a dad.
Right? He could relate.
And the thing with actually doing this, for him, in this character, I think he's phenomenal because we always see Ashley, and rightly so, he was brilliant in Top Gun.
It's a shame.
Do you know what I mean? He's fantastic.
I still see it.
But I wanted you to see another side of him.
It was so good.
And he's done that. He's smashed it.
We have to talk a couple of things. Firstly, 1,000 Blows, which is brilliant, and actually you directed some of the episodes of that as well.
Did, yeah.
Congratulations. What a brilliant thing to be part of.
Oh, it was amazing, man. When I got the call from the big man, you know, I didn't want to say no. And yeah, I loved it. I loved it. It was great for me.
Again, Erin Doherty.
I was hoping for a little cameo in that. I wanted to be a little Irish fighter that gets the living kicked out of him.
But it's the whole weekend, eh?
Next time, he's a good actor.
And secondly, we have to talk Springsteen. So you are in Deliver Me From Nowhere. You're in that as Bruce's dad. I'm a huge Springsteen fan, Douglas. So what was it like? You met the great man. Jeremy Allen White is playing him.
Yeah, he's phenomenal.
In Nebraska. Have you seen it yet?
No, because I was there for a few days and we shot it. And if I'm really honest with you, Bruce is one of the most wonderful, humble men I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
He was, and he's an icon, you know, and he's an absolute icon. But what a wonderful man.
And the relationship he's got with his dad was so nuanced because it was his greatest hero and his greatest foe in exactly.
His dad was an alcoholic, manic depressive, do you know what I mean? God. So it was a tricky piece.
Yeah, you met him, didn't you? He's a lovely man.
Yeah, he's wonderful. I'm going to go and watch him at Anfield when he plays.
Football.
I mean, you could stick him on the right wing, you know what I mean, probably. But no, he's going to play at Anfield, I think.
Amazing.
Thanks,
Ashley
guys.
and Stephen, thank you so much. It's so good. Adolescent, you have to watch it. It's unbelievable. It's on Netflix now. Do not miss it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning.
Because Ben Miller has arrived, he's in the studio, and he's going to be talking about this brand new book.
Yeah, well, he's exactly. He's obviously been known from TV and film. He's also found time to go a best-selling author too. So anything you can't do. 7 years after his first kids' book, he's put a twist on another classic fairy tale in Puss in Boots and is here to tell us more. This is exciting, isn't it?
I know, it's a tough market, you know, the cat children's author.
Yeah, I know.
Someone had it cornered, but turns out I didn't.
It looks so good because it's actually written in the form of a diary. You should have thought of this. It's so
It's a lot easier to write a diary. That's what I discovered. Yeah. None of that he said, she said stuff. Don't have to describe anything.
But isn't it? I imagine it's quite a tricky construct because you know, it's not like a classic narrative of ABC, is it?
There's two things that are quite interesting about them. One is to tell the story. Obviously, the character's got to be there at every moment in the story. And the other, you've got to have a character the kids really, really want to see the world, you know, through their eyes. And a cat,
it's first person
this
as well,
particular cat, yeah, it's first person. I think that's great for early readers, though, because, you know, I did this and I did this and I saw that and I went there, and I think they're immediately involved in the story. And looking at the world through a cat's eyes, a cat who thinks he's a little bit cleverer than he actually is a fun way to see the world.
And did someone sort of does someone not own, but is there an AA... There's not an AA film for Puss in Boots. It's just more of a fairy tale and a myth. Like, it's not like you had to get a family...
Quite an old fairy tale. That's just really interesting. And this is the old version
This
of it.
is the classic.
This is like the classic version. So, and the setup is brilliant, which is there's an ogre. I'm not entirely sure what an ogre is, but it doesn't sound good.
No.
And the ogre eats the miller, and therefore the miller's son and the mill cat have to find somewhere to live. They've got to make their way in the world.
Yeah.
And the cat, being thinking he's cleverer than he is, thinks, I'm going to fool everyone into thinking I'm a human, and I'm going to go to the palace. So I'm going to get some boots, little outfit. I'll go to the palace, and I'll convince them that the miller's son is a lord, marry him off, and then we'll all live happily ever after.
Yeah.
The plan doesn't go well.
No.
But it is such a fun story, because you've got this... And the bit that's missing in the fairy tale, which I wanted to write, was the bit where the cat dresses up as a person for the first time. Getting his boots on. Quite painful as a cat.
Beautiful illustrations as well.
Oh, I've got a fantastic illustrator.
And he's walking on 2 feet.
You're walking on 2 feet. Yeah, he finds it a bit real strain. Yeah, no, it's very uncomfortable. It's exhausting.
Muscles
the whole
he's
thing.
never used before. Ow!
Yeah, exactly. I didn't know this was even possible. Yeah, so, really I've got a brilliant... I mean, it was lovely to see that illustration there. Brilliant illustrator, Elisa Paganelli, who brings all of the characters to life in the story.
They're beautiful animation. They're really gorgeous. But what's so amazing is it's in diary form. Some of the chapters are really short.
Short chapters.
Big writing, lots of pictures. I love it.
I think the hardest one for me to write was the one that says, "Nothing much happened today."
The thing is, as soon as I go to bed and read a chapter, I'm done after half a page.
Well, also,
I think
as
this
a
book
parent,
is also for adults.
reading
as well.
to your kids, good for adults, good for adults, good for anyone who basically, I think, costs kids a lot to read. Costs them a lot of energy and effort. So it gives them that immediate reward. I've just finished the chapter.
Getting through it.
I'm turning the pages and I'm getting through it. But also that crucial thing where your kid says, when you've got, you know, you've slightly miscalculated things, it's late and you've got to get into bed, and they said, can I have a story? And you go, "Nothing much happened." There you go.
I'll be doing that chapter over and over again.
Oh, that's my world at the moment as well. What do your kids make of it?
Well, my daughter's quite a stern critic of mine. My daughter, Lana, 9 years old. Yeah, she loves this sort of diary form. She's not one to hold back. I do try I check everything out with my daughter. You know, the stories, obviously, I try them out on her. Do you know Puss in Boots? Do you know the story? And work on it with her in the car in the morning. I mean, they really earn their keep, those kids. But I'll give you a little, example of how unimpressed she can be. I was in Paddington 3.
That was that picture there, wasn't it?
I was there, and I managed to wangle a ticket to bring Lana with me.
Yeah.
We turn up to the
dad in the world. I mean, that's greatest
dad in the world, right? Best dad in the world. We have our pictures taken on the red carpet. We go inside, and the movie starts. I mean, it's a big deal, isn't it? You see the stars coming in. It's Paddington. It's Paddington 3. Peru. I mean, absolutely phenomenal. The movie starts. I'm in at the beginning, and I've got a couple of lines, and I give Paddington this umbrella, and then I'm not in it. He goes to Peru, and she turned to me. She said, "Have we come all this way for that?" I said, "What are you talking about? It wouldn't be a story if I'd given him that umbrella. Nothing would have happened. He'd have been lost. There would be no Paddington.
Also, I'm your dad.
And I'm your dad.
Children are so honest, though, aren't they?
They just tell it.
Do they like the book? I mean, would they even dress up as one of the characters, maybe on World Book Day or something?
That's the thing. I would love it if my own kids would dress as... kids do dress as my characters on World Book Day, and I love it.
Yeah.
I got this character who, in a book called The Boy Who Made the World Disappear, where he gets given, instead of a balloon at a party, children's party, he gets given a black hole on a piece of string. And every year I get kids posting photos with a black balloon on a stick like this.
That's so
costume,
cool.
isn't it?
Brilliant idea for a costume. My daughter will never dress as any of my characters. This year we had Trunchbull, I think she came as.
Also,
last year
she should have done it by now. That's the thing, because she's 9 now.
I know.
Before we let you go, Professor T is coming back, right?
Very excited. We've got a new series of Professor T. So at the end of the last series of Professor T, it ended on a big sort of emotional moment when one of them, Lisa, the main detective in the show, lost her life.
Yeah.
And it was devastating for all the other characters in the story. This is we're moving into a much lighter story now in this new series, and it kind of love is in the air for all the characters, and love is also in the air for Professor T, who begins to have a relationship with his psychotherapist.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow. It's never straightforward, is it? But I'm really excited about that, yeah.
And what can you tell us about Austin? This is something you filmed in Australia.
So I can just tease this, yeah. I filmed it. This is a comedy show. I've just got back from filming the second series in Australia. It's been a big hit in Australia. It's coming here, I think, in April. It's a half-hour comedy about the main character, Austin, is played by Michael Theo, and he came to fame in a show called Love on the Spectrum, which is sort of dating for people on the autistic spectrum. He became a huge star from that, not just here and in Australia, but also in the US. And we've developed this show around him where I play a children's author, big stretch. Sally Phillips plays my wife, who's the illustrator of these books that we do, and we go to Australia on a book tour, and he turns up to the book tour and tells me he's my son.
Oh, my goodness.
And then we have to kind of deal with that for the rest of the series.
Good.
But he's the most brilliant comedy actor, and he's sort of plays a version of him, not himself exactly, but a character quite close to himself. And he got nominated for an Australian BAFTA this year. So, yeah, his first acting job.
I can't wait to see.
Ben, there's so much going on.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the book. This is Ben's new book, The Diary of a Puss in Boots. And it's out now. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, it was out today, I think.
Very good.
Yeah, thank you.
Almost too good.
Oh, hello. Thanks for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning. Look, Jim is here to talk with us today about a cause that's very close to his heart.
After seeing the work conducted by charity Marie Curie firsthand, Jim is supporting them on their new campaign to fix end-of-life care.
Yeah, research by the charity has found that 1 in 4 people do not get the care that they need at their end of life. And so he's joining them with a call for the government to try and take some more action. This is a cause, as we said, very close to your heart. How did you get to know about Marie Curie, Jim?
I can't really remember, Ben. I mean, I've been an ambassador for Marie Curie for about 10 years. I can't remember what the initial connection was, but a very good friend of mine nursed his sister through the end of life. And she was only in her 50s and had terminal cancer, and he couldn't have done it without the support that Marie Curie gave him. I mean, but in sort of coming to the home, she saw the end of her life at home, which is what most of us would want, I think, wouldn't we, rather than in a hospital or a hospice. And seeing how they supported his sister and him, because the carer, I mean, obviously it's psychologically really difficult and exhausting to care for someone at that stage. So I thought, well, this is fantastic. They're great at what they do. They're the leading end-of-life sort of providers. So I'm very happy to support them, and particularly in this new Fix the End of Life campaign. Because, you know, you want the end of life to be it's hard enough. Yes. So you want it to be easy. You want to be surrounded by family if you can. I think most people would prefer to die at home. And at the moment, in the last year of life, about 80% of finance goes into hospital care, and of that, about half goes into emergency A&E care, and only 4% goes into palliative care. And we'd like the government, who are looking at this situation, they're coming up with a new 10-year strategy for the NHS. So this seems like the perfect time to talk about, could you look at a long-term strategy for palliative care so everybody's got access to it in the way that's best for them, really. And, you know, Marie Curie are very strong on this.
They're a remarkable charity. I know how closely one of my good friends, Chris Kamara, Cammy, works with them, and the difference that they made to his mother-in-law's life at the end of her care. And the Daffodil campaign is such a massive campaign for them, isn't it?
It is. I mean, this is March. This is the daffodil. It's the season of daffodils in the garden. It's the Daffodil campaign. And I think this is the 39th year of the Marie Curie. Yeah. So we you know, we'd ask everyone to try and support Marie Curie at this moment. I think last year we raised 1.3 million. So if people can go to the Marie Curie website, there's all sorts of different ways that you can support, you know, and their work. Getting nurses into homes and their research and this current Fix the End of Life Care campaign, it all goes to support that. So go to the website and have a look, see how you can help out. That'd be great.
I think one of the really important things, as you say, the government's doing this review, and we know that they've said that they're going to be investing money into this as well to help support the work of hospices and end-of-life care.
They're putting 100 million in, which is fantastic, but that's sort of going into bricks and mortar facilities, you know, and if you're not near a hospital or a hospice, then, you know, it can be a bit patchy, that. I mean, I'm not knocking it in any way. And, you know, Marie Curie worked very closely with the NHS. And if we can take some of the burden off hospitals and ambulance services and the 999 service by getting more nurses into homes, more care into homes, sort of in the community, away from the hospitals, then it frees up the hospitals for the work that they do so well. And that would be the brilliant thing to do, I think. So it's a long-term strategy, but, you know, the last government review about 7 or 8 years ago didn't really touch on palliative care. We're all getting older.
Yes.
You know, there's so many
Everybody will need some help at some stage.
Because one thing's sure, you know, we have one life, you know, and we're all it's going to end at some time. So it'll benefit everybody.
So opening up the conversation too.
I think that's so important to be able to talk about about death in a kind of a reasoned way, not to be frightened of it, because we know it's going to happen. So, you know, simple things like, have you made a will? What music do you want at your funeral? Those sort of things, because it's traumatic enough dying without leaving family going, oh, sort of, what bank was Mum with? Or what music would she want at her funeral? She wouldn't want the Stones. You don't
know. She could be a bit of a goer.
Well, she could be, you know, jumping Jack Flash, you never know. So all those conversations, make them as normal as possible. It doesn't have to be traumatic. It just can be a sort of a general thing, you know.
Yeah.
And start at any age. Don't wait till it's late.
Yeah, for sure. We don't have that long with you this morning, Jim, but we've got to ask you about Downton as well before you go.
Okay.
New movie, what can you tell us?
I can tell you, I think I'm allowed to tell you that it's opening on September the 12th.
Great.
That's very good. The third film. That's exciting.
Have you seen it yet?
No, I haven't. No. I think we're going to see it soon.
OK.
But so no, it's going to be a mystery to me. I know I filmed certain parts of it in the Great Yorkshire Showground in Harrogate, which is 300 yards from where I was born.
Oh, wow.
And I learnt to ride my bicycle on the Great Yorkshire Showground.
And it's a role, you've always said that customs is the role that you were born to play.
Sort of, yeah.
I mean, isn't that extraordinary that then the heritage of you growing up and then there you were being him?
There I was being him back home, you know. And the weird thing is the Great Yorkshire Showground, I mean, I tell Imelda, my wife, this, and she laughs. In the 50s, there was very little excitement in Harrogate, and there were no traffic lights. So when the Great Yorkshire Show was on for 3 days in July, there was traffic jams. We would make a picnic and sit on the wall and watch the traffic jam. I'm not looking for your pity.
Disney heights of excitement.
Was that where Betty's Tea Room started? It was basically to come and watch the traffic jam.
Betty's, yes. Let's get a fat rascal from Betty's and watch the traffic jam.
That's absolutely amazing.
And is it nice to see the rest of the cast and stuff?
It's great. In fact, I've got a hot date in about 10 days' time with Mrs. Patmore, Mrs. Hughes, Daisy the maid, and Mr. Barrow, the naughty footman who became my successor as butler. So we meet up for dinners from time to time and dish the dirt sort of thing. So,
I bet it was magical getting back together, although missing Dame Maggie, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, of course. I mean, what a... You know... we won't see her like again, really. Somebody, I mean, an iconic figure who, you know, whose career started in classical theatre and then expanded to worldwide fame, you know, winning Oscars at the drop of a hat. And how lucky we were to have worked so closely with her for so long in Downton Abbey, you know, I mean...
Those lines as well that she'd deliver.
Zing,
zing. They were so good.
Get me back another time and I'll tell you about when Maggie Smith met Shirley MacLaine. I mean, that was a meeting over that.
Divas!
Wow.
Yeah.
We need that. We need the inside on that.
Yeah,
for sure.
Jim, out of time, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you. Lovely to see you.
As we say, really, really pleased that you come in and talk a lot about the Marie Curie end-of-life care campaign. I think it's really, really important.
Thank you for your support on that. That's really appreciated.
And we'll pass on your comments to Sam as well. He'll be thrilled to know you had your head in your hands as he tried his best.
Yeah. Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning. To the delight of fans, Strictly Come Dancing legend and judge Anton de Beck is heading back to the stage.
Have you been writing this script?
This is a good script. I liked it. Some of the stuff earlier I was concerned about, but this is good now.
His live band, his special guests, you can expect a fabulous evening of song, dance and laughter.
And here to tell us more is the great man himself.
I like that legend that popped in there earlier. Thank you for that.
Come on, tell us more about this tour.
Well, it's my favourite sort of show, really, musicals. We all love a musical, and I love the musicals. So we have it's a bit of a magic at the musicals, really.
Yeah.
And I've got this incredible band, of course. Everybody's been to see me before. Will know the band. They're an incredible band. Wonderful dancers. The fabulous Lance Ellington's joining me again.
Amazing.
And I've got Lauren Oakley with me from Strictly this year as well, joining me as a special guest. She is, as we know, exquisite. And we're doing numbers and choreography from musicals, but we're sort of packaging it. So we do, rather than just one number per musical, so, for example, we've got a lovely My Fair Lady section, which is my favourite, and we'll do 3 or 4 numbers from that, and then we'll segue into Anything Goes, and we'll do 2 or 3 numbers from Anything Goes, then we'll go on to Sound of Music, and we'll do some numbers from Sound of Music.
Your wife's favourite, right?
My wife's favourite.
It's your wife's favourite. You've got to keep the wife happy.
Well, you're absolutely right.
Yes.
Tremendous. Well done, you.
Yes, thank you.
And so we go through, but we have, as is always with these things, and I do like to chat to the audience, and I wasn't going to do that this time, but I am, because, you know, people are changing costumes and stuff, and so I go, hello, my love, how are you? Lovely jubbly, and all that, and we're having a chat, and we do a few stories, and this has become now a thing in the show. It wasn't a thing, it's become now a thing. So I asked the audience, what's your favourite musical? What's your favourite musical?
Oh, what is my favourite musical? I very much like West Side Story.
West Side Story. And Ben, what's your...
a couple. Book of Mormon.
Book of Mormon.
Yes. We'll come to that as well.
We like that one.
Yeah.
And, and then I do this. I've got a bunch of people. Now, and obviously, we don't have all the musicals, so many musicals. We haven't got them all in the show. We've got the selection. But this has now become a thing. So in the second half, because I've got this incredible band, we sort of busk up some numbers from musicals. And we call it the musicals that aren't in the show musicals.
Oh, wow.
So it's like a sing-along.
You'll ask someone...
Well, no, not for them. Not for the audience. Just
so the audience will say, I really like Five Guys Named Mo, and you'll find something from Five Guys Named Mo.
And then we'll put that into... We did a bit of Phantom the other evening. I played Christine. It didn't go down too well. And Lance was playing... Raoul. and we end up doing this section in the second half.
Sing for me.
Sing for me.
Wait, hold on. But what do you do with the words? Because do you know the words?
No, so we bring on the iPad, we Google up the lyrics, the band play this. Because the band is such genius.
They can just do it.
My musicians are the greatest in the world, I have to tell you. And they can play anything. And Clive Dunstan, my MD, he looks at the... And they all go... And they've probably been in the show, like Howard, for example, who's on the sax. He's done...
Sexy saxophone.
He's done he's in Wicked at the moment as well, and they've all done stuff. And so they start playing, and then on we go. And
I love it.
It's such a fun... brilliant part of the show. It wasn't in the show.
No.
These things are sort
organically, it's come about. It's like when you did your one-man show and the questions you got for the audience was such a special part of that event when I came to see you there, because everybody feels like, you know, it's personal for them, and it's always different, which keeps it live for you guys.
Which is great for us, because we always, you know, it's always a new show for us. I mean, we had a couple of teething problems in the first couple of shows. I mean, I have one moment which I shall never forget. I came out and sang entirely the wrong song. Apologies to anybody who came to that show.
You what?
But, oh, no, I had an absolute nightmare. I came out all sort of enthusiastic, had a quick change, and came out with the wrong song.
Doesn't the music help?
No. I was beyond listening. I was just out. Whoosh! In olden days. That's the wrong song. Oh, my God. And we sort of work our way back into the right song. But it's great. I mean, that's live theatre. That's the joy of live theatre. But we're, you know, it's all bedded in now. So, and out of that come these little gems, you know, of the musicals that aren't in the musical part. But the show numbers are incredible. So, you know, the section... For example, I use My Fair Lady as an example. It's my favourite bit. And we've got, you know, Candor and Ebb section there. We've got Chicago, and we've got a bit of Cabaret, and we've got Moulin Rouge in there.
Oh, fantastic.
And we've got a bit of Dreamgirls. We've got Lucy Nolan, who sings wonderfully, does that great note. And Lauren, she makes an amazing Eliza. She sings these numbers with great character. She's got a great voice. So it's, you know, I'm really delighted with it. It's a great show.
You do love your musicals.
I love them.
So what happened with Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Yeah, what happened was, it was a trick question.
Millionaire musicals question.
It's
all or nothing, in you go.
There you go, he's handed me one, hasn't he? He's gone, here, I have that one for free. And I was like that, I know the answer to this. Because, you know, I know the music to Moulin Rouge. I know the music to
I've got a West End show that does all about musicals.
It's got it in it. I've listened to all the music. It's well, no, disaster.
You got it wrong.
So what did you do?
Well, I had to because I was
money.
I was on 16. Everybody knows the show. I was on 16,000, but I hadn't put the ceiling thing up.
Yes.
You know, and so it was going to drop to 1, and I went like that, and he went, "Are you sure?" I've got it down to 2 musicals. I can't even think about it. It makes it a bit peculiar. And I went, "If I get this wrong, I'll pay the money myself." He went, "Well, you just lost 15 grand."
Oh!
I went, "Oh my God."
Fabulously, though.
This is the call. Darling,
Can you get the checkbook?
Could you get the checkbook out?
Well, I think you gave the money. I think
did it
yesterday we got a lovely bit of footage. So this is you.
We had a lovely afternoon tea.
You've got a big checkbook, Anton.
Well, I have. It's very spectacular. It doesn't come out very often. But we,
it's laminated as well, just in case.
Laminated. That's how often I use it. But it was, we had an afternoon tea for the charity yesterday.
Fabulous.
Which we raised a lot of money for the sick children. So everybody who came to that, thank you very much for supporting the charity. It's gratefully received. And then I handed over the £15,000 cheque that I owed the charity. But I'm just disappointed that I couldn't have ploughed on and got more money for the charity.
Because it's the least I could do. It's amazing what happens when you're under that sort of pressure. You're going on tour again in the summer with Geo, of course.
Yes, we're going out in the summer, which we're looking forward to.
The reaction to you guys being together is
wonderful. We call it Together, the show. We're calling it Together again, and I'm looking for. I haven't seen him for a few months. He was away in Italy doing the Italian show. He's been on the road doing his show. So we'll get together in May, and I'm looking forward to it, and it'll be lovely. I'm looking forward to the show because I think I'd like to think we're going to do some new numbers, but some old numbers because we've done a lot together and some great stuff. So I think we might revisit one or two great numbers that we've done in the past. So, it's like you do these shows and you go, oh, well, once you've done it, you may never do that again. It seems a waste, so we're going to put it together.
Nice to recreate some of that.
Yeah, lovely.
Recreate the magic.
Lovely.
Sure.
Anton, always a joy
lovely
to see you.
Both.
Lovely.
Thanks
for the percussion during Spin Spin as well.
I was trying to help
Next time
the
you
best
can
I
do the
could.
wheel.
You did?
Spin.
Catherine got £2 grand?
Yeah.
£2 grand, lovely.
And Anton de Beek at the musicals travels to Durham on Friday.
And he's going to sing the right songs to the right music.
I'm all over it
right
now.
time.
I'm right up to speed. I'm bedded in. I'm good to go.
Now, it's a condition that affects more than 1 million people in this country, yet obsessive-compulsive disorder is still widely misunderstood, and it's a condition that our next guest has been learning to live with since childhood.
Yeah, starring in hit TV shows, including, of course, Downton Abbey, Tuppence Middleton appeared to be the epitome of confidence. But behind the scenes, her life was controlled by terrifying, intrusive thoughts and repetitive, compulsive rituals.
Now Tuppence has opened up about the extent of her condition for the first time in her new memoir, Scorpions.
And as she's preparing to take to the West End stage again tonight, Tuppence has taken a break from her busy schedule to tell us more about the book. Firstly, you started last night in The Years, which I saw on Saturday. I'm still reeling from.
Yeah.
How did it go?
OK, I think I had a great time. I think you spend so much energy being hyper-focused before your first performance, so you sort of don't really think about anything else, just getting through to the end of the play. But it's such a supportive company and it's such a beautiful thing to be a part of, so I just felt very supported.
It's an extraordinary experience watching it. We'll come and talk about that a little bit later on because, of course, we also want to talk about your book.
Yeah, Scorpions. It's so brave and open and honest. And what I like most about it is even if you don't suffer from OCD yourself at all, your writing makes you go to that place. You can absolutely empathise with exactly what you're going through. Was that a conscious decision?
Yeah, I think I'd read books on OCD which had felt quite statistical and sort of removed, and I really wanted for people to feel like they were inside the head of someone with OCD, for it to feel immersive, so you could understand the thought processes. And I think we have a very sort of generalised, often trivialised version of what OCD is.
Yeah.
And whether that's people thinking, oh, I like order and cleanliness. I wanted people to understand the sort of the bit before that, the bit before the compulsions. What happens in your head? Why do I have to count to 8? Why do I have to touch these things a certain amount of times? Why do I have this sort of reassurance-seeking behaviours? And for someone who doesn't have OCD, I wanted to give them more of an understanding. But if you do suffer with it, I also sort of wanted to provide a little bit of hope.
It was so clever, actually.
Yeah.
The Scorpions,
That's an idea.
the idea of that, it allows the reader to get hold of exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, I think often people like to sort of name their OCD, they either as a sort of singular entity or something else, but for me it always felt like this sort of crawling, sinister presence, and the thoughts and the way that they change and the speed that they move, the idea of scorpions crawling around in my head was something that always struck a chord.
How did it start, Tuppence?
Well, I think it started really after I had a prolonged illness as a child. I had chronic fatigue syndrome, or ME, as it's also known. And I was constantly nauseous. I lost a lot of weight. I was very tired. I couldn't get out of bed. And that lasted for a few months. And when I finally recovered, I started to get symptoms of OCD and perform these sort of checking behaviours and a lot of counting rituals. So I would look at things in my room which were square and count the corners to a count of 8. And then it would be checking certain things in the kitchen, checking door handles, worrying about getting sick, which was a huge drive, I think, you know, as a carry through from my illness, that I'd had this prolonged nausea and never had any resolution. So I think that turned into emetophobia, which I talk a lot about in the book, which is a fear of vomiting, and that drives a lot of those cleanliness compulsions.
And did it kind of spiral out of control pretty quickly? Because what you're talking about was when you were about 10 or 11.
Yeah.
You stopped going to school. Your mum must have been so upset and terrified, not knowing exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Did it spiral out of control fairly quickly, or did you get some help? And how long did it take you to get the diagnosis?
It was quite gradual. I mean, it was something that we initially went to our GP about when I was 11 or 12, when it first started to show up. And then I sort of managed it through school. And the thing about OCD, which I think is quite difficult and which I wanted to shed light on, is that it's such a private thing, because so much of it is internal thinking, then you can hide it from people. And a lot of my checking behaviours revolved around my home. So once I had kind of left a place of responsibility, I suppose, then it was much easier to cover it up. So it was at its worst in my early and mid-20s, when I was sort of studying, but then just after that, when I'd started working the first few years after drama school. And then I sought various different types of help. I tried CBT therapy, cognitive behavioural therapy. I was on medication for 2.5 years, which was an antidepressant often prescribed for OCD. And then eventually I had a course of talking therapy as I was coming off medication, which was the thing that helped me the most. But it's so individual, I think.
So individual. You're a mum now as well, and you work in a world which is very high profile professionally.
Yeah.
And you have to mix with all sorts of people with demands on your time, like performing live on stage.
Yeah.
I mean, how does it manifest itself now, Tuppence? How do you navigate being a mum? Because little kids can be ill.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. So that was a really difficult thing, and I think people with OCD often don't even get pregnant because they're worried about morning sickness, or they're worried about what happens when they have children and those children pick up bugs, as they inevitably do. I think a lot of preparation is involved. There's two sides to it, I suppose. You have this distraction which requires a lot of your focus. So in that respect, sometimes it can distract me from routines and rituals that I set up, which is a great thing. And then on the other hand, there is this huge anxiety about, you know, going to a soft play or going to nursery and picking up bugs. And so then I have these sort of kits which I built in case she gets ill. And I have a very understanding partner, and it's a lot about preparing yourself for those situations.
Being organised.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just so tricky, I think, to manage it within society too, and people's perceptions of it, because we've seen interviews that you've done where people sometimes just trivialise it, actually.
Yeah.
You received a mug as a present.
Yeah, which said obsessive-compulsive on it. Yeah. And, you know, something that I talk about in the book too, I find it hard to imagine someone having a mug with PTSD written on it. You know, it's a mental health condition, and it's just because there are elements of it which may seem kind of ludicrous to people, then it's still very serious to the person who has it. And I think in terms of work, I now feel much more able to speak to co-stars or speak to, you know, if I have an intimate scene with someone and tell them this is my particular anxiety, and please let me know if you have any kind of contagious illness that could potentially throw up some problems.
Yeah. It's fascinating. As Kat was saying, it's brilliant that you're talking about it so openly as well. Like, we know you professionally so open, but personally, this is the difference. We're joined as well now by psychiatrist and OCD specialist, Professor David Veal. Good morning to you, Professor David. Thank you for joining us. Can you just break down, in simple terms, for the layman, exactly what OCD is?
Well, obsessive-compulsive disorder consists of both obsessions and compulsions. And an example of an obsession might be a fear of contamination, perhaps from germs or something, and leading to compulsive washing. Or someone else might have a doubt that they've just run over a cyclist, leading to constant checking. Someone else might have intrusive thoughts about stabbing their baby or something and having to neutralise it. So it's many different types within OCD, but the key thing is that it's very distressing, very time-consuming and interfering in one's life.
I mean, Tubbins talked about some of the treatments that she's had. Is it something that can be cured with the right treatment?
Most people can make definitely progress in terms of using both cognitive behaviour therapy, but it needs to be specific. It includes principles of facing up to your fears and being able to learn how to tolerate uncertainty. So it is tough. It requires a lot of courage. And as Tuppence says, and people with more severe problems might be helped also by medication.
And if somebody was watching the show right now and was picking up on maybe some of the symptoms that you're describing or thinking that they have those kind of thoughts, what would be your advice to them?
Well, I'd definitely seek professional help, and you can do that in the UK through talking therapies, on the NHS, certainly, or you can get a referral by your GP. But, you know, I think the message is this is something that's definitely treatable, and you can definitely make progress, even if you don't completely recover from it.
Well, thank you, Professor David. I'd imagine that you'd echo that as well, Tubbins, that you are making progress.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. I think, you know, I feel now at a position in my life where it's much more manageable, and I've learned certain ways to cope with it when I'm in more stressful periods of my life. So that's part of the reason I felt like it was good timing to write the book. I could have some perspective.
He's tackled desert marathons and even made it to the Everest base camp. But Spencer Matthews' latest challenge was his toughest yet.
Having run over 170 kilometres in 24 hours, he incorporated all his worthy charities along the way. Yeah. Spencer is here to tell us how it all went. It was an extraordinary challenge, that one, Spencer. What made you come up with it?
I have a new podcast called Untapped, and on that new show, which kind of explores human potential, and we have, you know, hopefully entertaining and thought-provoking conversations around health and wellness and pushing yourself. I interviewed a guy called Kylian Jornet, who's considered by many to be, you know, one of the best ultra athletes in the world, trail runner, but real incredible stamina, and you know, does all kinds of amazing things with his mind. And on the show, he just casually dropped that over a 2-week period, he ran for 22 hours a day, every day.
For 2 weeks?
Yeah. And I was just like, what? And I kind of suddenly started looking at Strava and other athletes who are kind of far superior to me, and discovered that 24-hour running is a thing. Like, there are, you know, people do it. There are teams and all kinds of stuff. So I'd just never given it any thought, and I thought, I wonder if I could run for 24 hours. And I knew that the experience of doing it would be interesting to me.
Of course.
So yeah, planned it on the kind of Monday. I'd been wanting to do it since interviewing Kylian. Planned it on the Monday and did it on the Friday.
What sort of preparation do you have to do, though?
Monday to Friday, apparently.
Yeah.
It's not very long.
It was an interesting challenge in the sense that there was a lack of preparation, and there were questions that were unanswered. And it was, I don't know, that I wouldn't suggest, by the way, tackling something like that with no preparation. But for someone like me who has, you know, I was fortunate to become a world record holder last year. We planned that so specifically and meticulously, and took out kind of most risk. And it didn't diminish it, but it made it that much more achievable because, you know, I put in the countless months of preparation and stuff. So the end result had less question marks around it. So with this 24-hour run, I wasn't really sure of completing it. There was a lot of questions around it. So for somebody like me, it was a fun battle with myself to see if it can be done. And I really enjoyed it. It was a big mental battle at times, but also quite a beautiful thing. You know, I was really proud of it.
A beautiful thing, a mental battle. You know what he needs, don't you?
What does he need?
Some cup of soups.
Oh, yeah.
To keep him going.
Yes, so it was the cup of soups that solved the dilemma halfway round. You were struggling.
My dear friend and coach and logistical head for the 30 Desert Marathons, a guy called Chris Taylor, a phenomenal athlete, and he said to me, if you can get some soup into you during the night, that would be really helpful.
Yeah.
And I didn't have any soup with me. We had pizzas and burgers and stuff that were cold and being savaged by foxes during the night.
Savaged by
I know, like,
foxes.
literally, I would be on the one side of the track and I'd look over and there'd be a fox, like,
Eating your food.
in my food, and I'd be like, get that fox away! There was no one there, obviously, to kind of control the fox. And it was so annoying. But anyway, so I kind of went a bit hypothermic at one point.
Oh, no.
Which means that, you know, you're cold from the inside out, basically, because I was wearing a big, thick hoodie at night, running on my own, in a bit of a world of my own.
And is that, sorry, Spence, is that because at that point you're just running around, you're not running fast enough to generate enough heat?
Yeah, no, so it was 0 degrees at night for a good kind of 6 or 7 hour period. And so I was wearing a hoodie and gloves, and I'd kind of bunched it all up. So I had this little tunnel vision, and I was running on my own, and the hoodie eventually became really wet because I was sweating.
Yes, of course.
And so it became this kind of big, wet, heavy thing. And at about 4 a.m., just after I'd cleared 100 kilometres, my body went into... Anyone who's been hypothermic will tell you it can be quite scary. It just went into this... it's sudden as well. This... and you can't control your temperature, and your body does everything it can to try and warm up. And I knew I had to get inside, so I got inside, got my wet hoodie off, but, you know, all felt like quite a big effort. And there were some cuppa soups there, and I remember what Chris said to me, and I said, I need to get those cuppa soups into me. And I did, and it was honestly, it was
and
like
that's what solved it.
It was a
Inside
game
Out.
changer. Like the little croutons. I feel like I've really missed out on cuppa soups. I think I need to make it part of my routine.
And by the end, I mean, it gets tougher and tougher, and you've still got to get there. But you've got Vogue involved. You've got your little one involved as well.
Yeah, I mean, Vogue is just, you know, obviously my best friend and mother
You
of my
have
kids.
a gorgeous family.
She's so. She kept saying, nobody's making you do this, so why are you doing it? You know, and she was great. She brought Theodore, who's a really enthusiastic runner, actually.
There he is, look.
I ran with him this morning at his school.
Did you?
Yeah, no, he runs. Like, he does junior park
How
run.
old is he?
6.
Oh, wow.
He does junior park run. He does his school run club. We ran together this morning. I love running with him, actually. Obviously, he's not quite up to the kind of longer distance stuff, but it makes me feel really proud.
But was he not frustrated that you were running so slowly by the end?
Yeah.
Like, Daddy, what's going on? Come on.
He came at the very end when obviously I was kind of, you know, just mustering together the energy to kind of keep moving, and he was like, why are you going so slowly? And I was like, I haven't stopped since you started running with me yesterday. And he kind of struggled with that. He didn't quite understand what I meant by the fact that I'd been running, you know, for the full day.
Yeah.
But he's brilliant. He's a really... you know, he's well, I struggle to call him a talented runner at his age, but he's certainly got the appetite for it.
It sounds like
he
he's got a
likes
lot
it.
of drive and a lot of ambition. I think it's interesting, because, Spence, you've said recently that you want all of your kids to find their own way in life. You're not necessarily going to leave a load of legacy for them, inheritance and stuff. You want them to achieve off their own back.
Well, I think, yeah, I mean, I think it's important to help your kids if you can, and give them a steer in life, obviously. You know, as my dad has helped me and my mum has helped me from time to time. But yeah, I think, you know, trying to understand how to make your own way in life is really important. Feeling proud of yourself for your own achievements, you know, not being given everything on a plate, I think is what I meant by that, is important for the development of the child. You know, you need to try to earn your own way in life. That's not to say that, you know, I wouldn't give my kids a helping hand.
Do you think when you look back at your early life, late teenage years, your early 20s, when you went through a lot of turmoil and your Made in Chelsea all happened and you were drinking and stuff, that actually maybe you had experienced a little of being given too much at an early age and just sort of not necessarily finding your path?
I don't think those two things go hand in hand per se. I mean, I was a terrible drinker for a long period of time. My dad, I always remember looking back at kind of, you know, wanting a larger allowance or whatever else. You know, he was always... my dad was a car mechanic and has always been an incredibly hard worker, and, you know, used to instill that in us on an incredibly regular basis, that, you know, it's very important to earn your own way and help. But as I said, you know, my dad and I have a wonderful relationship, and there's always been love, you know, there. And he's helped me from time to time when I was growing up. Obviously, before I was able to go and build my own career, you need a bit of help from, well, you know, not everybody gets that luxury, but I was helped a bit by my family, as I would hope to help my own kids. What I meant by the comment, I think, was that, you you know, your kids need to feel proud of their own achievements and pushing themselves to achieve on their own is all I meant. But, you know, we'll be there loving them for as long as
you're
we're around.
undoubtedly setting an amazing example about pushing yourself.
Yeah.
You've got another big challenge that you're setting up for, which is 7 Ironman across 7 different continents.
Yeah, so it's 7. I think I have to call them full-distance triathlons because Ironman's a brand. But yes, it's exactly the same thing as an Ironman, same distances. It's a 3.8-kilometre swim, 180k bike and a full marathon. And I aim to be the fastest person to achieve an Ironman distance triathlon on every continent. So 7 back-to-back. So we're looking at kind of Rio, Miami, London, India, potentially Mumbai, Perth in Australia, Cape Town in South Africa, and then Antarctica. all in kind of one go, though.
Wow. And you're not a great swimmer, you said.
If I had to swim 3.8 kilometres today, there's a pretty good chance I'd drown.
Wow. So there's going to be a lot of work put into that part of it.
I'm going to have to learn how to swim. Yeah. But I think that's part of the interest as well, you know, picking up new stuff as you go along.
I mean, that's the magic of your podcast as well. Spencer's podcast, Untapped. You can get it Mondays, wherever you get your podcasts. It's you and Jake, and it's all about finding that sort of untapped ability that you don't necessarily know you have yet.
Yeah, I think we're all capable of you know, a lot more and doing really interesting things. And I think people are bound by boundaries getting in the way of stuff. I think boundaries are perceptions, and I think you know, if you're the kind of person that's listening, going, I could never run a half marathon or I could never run a marathon, I'm here to tell you that's simply not true, right? And that part of the podcast is to try to inspire people to, not me, but our amazing guests, to try and inspire people to understand that they can do more and potentially push themselves a bit harder.
All for that.
Well, good luck with it.
Yes.
We wish you well. And send our love to Vogue too.
I will do.
Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank
you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning.
Oh, wow.
I could just watch a highlight reel of that for the next hour. That's amazing.
I mean, that was something. It was really something.
Wow. 55 years later, Lily's getting back into the hosting route. She's got a brand new podcast, and she's here to tell us all about it and come for lunch and just spread love and happiness.
Well, it's just great to see you guys.
So good to see you. How are you?
Yeah, it's great. It's funny, you know, when you watch someone on the television all the time and then you come and you see them, you think you can just continue the conversation, but you haven't seen them for years, sort of thing.
You were so funny because you didn't want to let go of your plate of jerk chicken. You're like, I want that chicken.
I knew to come in early because I thought it would go. I thought it would go.
She was going to bring it here.
No, that's quite a good shout.
OK, are we going to judge this thing? Let's get it out of the way.
God,
it's done, then it's done.
So
I know I've lost, but listen, we recorded the well.
We did our wells for you.
Have a look at Dermot first. Have a look at this.
Well, was that right? A bit barky.
You were on.
Really?
You were on. So, and you have to give this up. I do not want any competition.
See, he was good. Do you think he's been practicing?
I think he's...
Remember, I've just woken up at this point.
OK,
I've just woken up. It's early in the morning.
Oh, it's tough to do that.
Have a listen.
Yeah, 5 a.m. this morning.
I couldn't even look at the cat. Oh, it's awful.
But you didn't finish it. You were absolutely on point.
I said
and
to her.
higher than you and I. You sang
confidence.
it in my key.
I lost confidence. I didn't believe in myself.
Well,
you've
got to do some work on that, darling.
Thank you,
But I don't think much work.
I'm OK with you giving it as he won.
Well,
yes,
I don't know that I could just give it to you, really. Let's be fair. But you didn't finish it, so maybe.
Yeah,
yes,
sure.
Maybe.
I didn't.
But no, sod off. It's International Women's Day.
I knew this was
She's getting it.
Now,
listen,
let's talk more Lulu.
Let's talk more Lulu. OK, first of all, podcast. How did it come about? What is it about?
Well, it's called Turning Points, and it's really... I have a new management, and they're amazing. So they said, you know, they've been asked, would I do a podcast? And they said, you can definitely talk. You can blether, Lou. But, in fact, it sort of has... It's like combined with the fact that I'm writing a memoir.
Yeah.
And this memoir is intense.
Is it been a lot?
It is a lot. It's still not finished. And I've actually gone into therapy because to support me, I'm being as honest and as vulnerable as I can be because I'm actually a private person.
Yeah.
So for instance, my childhood trauma is very private. I have never really talked about it. So I do talk about that. And I talk about some other things that I haven't talked about. No kiss and tell, no, shaming or blaming, but this is, I mean, I'm 76, so if I can't be more vulnerable and if I'm going to start a book, you've got to tell as much as possible. Yeah. So doing that has allowed me to do, it's sort of opened the door for me to do a podcast that's called Turning Points, so that I ask my guests to go deep. A lot of them, the ones I've chosen to speak to, famous, so we know a lot about them.
And
But
they
I've
don't
asked-
really go deep normally, though, do they? Back in the day, I can remember.
Well,
they never would go as deep as we go nowadays on podcasts. They get really under the skin, don't they?
Well, people, in some ways, it's really, really good to be vulnerable. And, I mean, I've learned that because my modus operandi, I sing and I do what I do to connect. I want to connect to people. I don't want to feel different, odd. And I think as a child, I felt different and separate and odd, and I had issues that I wouldn't talk about. So to be able to talk about your issues, you find that other people have similar issues. And I think that's so helpful. It makes you don't feel alone.
Sure, and I bet you're having conversations with people you've known for years, but you've never had these conversations with people you've known for years.
I actually have said that probably to most of them. I mean, I did with Boy George. Well, George is easy. George...
He's such a great open book, isn't he?
He never shuts up for a minute. I love him to death, and it's easy to work with him. But then, I've had Brian Cox. I think we dropped the Brian Cox podcast this week. And, we went into things about his childhood that he hasn't talked about, because I really do feel that our childhood, anyway, forms us.
Yeah, definitely.
And if we have things that didn't work, or anything we need to look at, you can get better, you can grow from your child. You don't have to stay there with some... And I have stayed stuck with certain things that I talk about in the book that I now can relate to with my guests on Turning Point, the podcast. And it's sort of like everything seems to be full. And then I now have a charity. I have a trust called Lulu's Mental Health Trust. And that all comes about from actually getting older, getting,
wiser.
Hopefully wiser.
But they say that, don't they? In your later life, you should give back, and that's a lovely way to do it.
You are.
That's you're in that.
In Denzel Washington, it's learn, earn, return.
Return.
That's really sweet. I love Denzel. I love Denzel. I've always loved Denzel.
You've always just been return. You're so good.
But yes, it's true. As we get older, hopefully get wiser, and then you realise, what it is. What is it I have to give? What do I have? I mean, I've talked my head off for 60-odd years, but there's a lot of things I'm so private in certain areas. My mother used to say, never wash your dirty linen in public. And that's how it was looked at then.
Back then.
But now, it can be helpful. I mean, some people overshare. I got to watch that. But I think if it's constructive, where you can, relatable, then we can all help each other. So and it's actually, I mean, Brian Cox and I did nothing but laugh.
What a great guest, by the way. Here.
Well, I've got Brian Cox, Kristen Scott Thomas, John Legend, and more.
But you're used to doing this. You had It's Lulu.
Yeah.
It was an amazing time. You had the stars. I mean,
we just
you're a
say
big
before
star.
we finish up, if you wanted to start with it, that is one great black book you're looking at there, isn't it? She's like,
I've got a good book.
Yeah.
I've got, and I can call people, but people aren't always available. But most people I've called, they've said, maybe not now, maybe we'll do it for the second lot. And so it's great.
Lou, thank you. Lou's podcast, Turning Point's available to stream now.
Thank you so much for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every single day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the morning. Emmy, three-time Tony Award winner. That Oscar's going to come one day. He's now taken the West End by storm at the Kit Kat Club.
Yeah, that's right. After making his mark in shows like Kinky Boots and Pose, Billy Porter is now wowing audiences in the Kit Kat Club in the West End's Cabaret. Lovely to have you here, Billy.
Lovely to be here.
We are honoured. We are absolutely honoured.
How's the run going? Are you enjoying it?
The run is going great. I haven't been on stage in 8 years.
Wow. Oh, so was it a little bit of a shock?
My sweet 55-year-old body is like, what are you doing? But, I'm taking care of myself and going to physio.
How are you taking care of yourself? You got some
I'm going to visit physio. I'm sitting in hot tubs. I'm taking nice baths.
You're not messing
around. I have that Theragun.
Oh, yes.
The Theragun, you know.
That's
so
going
I'm
everywhere, that guy.
Yes, I'm stretching out.
I do like those guys.
They're good, aren't they?
Great, really
Oh, they're good.
Billy, it's a physical role as well, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It's almost like a contortionist. It's like you've got this incredible kind of...
I don't do it as contortionist-y as some of the others have.
Yeah.
You got to do it for your 55-year-old body, babe.
Yes, and they also tailor it. You know, the great part about this production is that the creative team have set it up so that every person that comes into these roles, it gets tailored to who they are.
That's great.
And, you know, I'm one of the first, I know Leighton, a black man who played this role. I'm the second black man to ever play this role. Marisha Wallace is the first black woman in a commercial production in the 60-year history.
Yeah.
And so when you know, I'm a black man in Germany. They didn't like us either, but I can't assimilate. So the trajectory of where my second act goes, once it gets a little darker, is really powerful.
It is, yeah. Because the role, I mean, it's hard to kind of stress what an experience cabaret is.
Yes,
I've seen it once and I loved it. But you're as soon as you walk in, you go downstairs and you come up and and you're basically you are transported to kind of like Germany, the Weimar Republic,
1929, 30 Germany.
Yeah, right. So even the food, so you eat pretzels and beer and schnapps and stuff like that. You know.
It's great. It's
really wonderful. But then it kind of the story goes from kind of Germany. Around there in the
before the occupation.
I can't believe you're the second black man to play that character. When you think about it,
in a commercial production
in Germany, though, at the time when it was set, there were black people.
Yes, there were many.
And you auditioned in the 90s for this role as well?
I did audition in the 90s for the past. That last revival back in the 90s. I never got to audition because they weren't really. You know, they essentially just said, oh, that's not the story we're telling.
Right.
And I was like, no, we were there. And I did my research and I got a book called Destined to Witness, Growing Up Black in Nazi Germany. And I gave it to the entire creative team. And now all these years later, though, you know, what I always say, my mom used to always say, God's delay is not denial. And now here I am in this moment with Marisha Wallace and Daniel Bauerbach. And now there are 3 black people in these 3 central characters. Nice. And the story resonates differently. It expands in a way that allows for more people to feel seen. The Nazis didn't like anybody except themselves. So whatever you were in the concentration camp if you weren't them.
So it's so interesting. So you're not playing it colorblind. So you're playing it so you are playing it like...
No, because when you think about it, you know, my character would have fled the Jim Crow South to go to Europe to where he thought he would be safe.
Yeah.
And then you get there and it's, you know, so there's no safety.
No, it's just because traditionally the MC is the kind of character that almost symbolic of, exactly, more from this kind of like, everyone's having a great time to kind of almost the corruption and the, wonderful. We have to talk the Olivier's.
Yes, please.
Well, so you're hosting with Beverly Knight.
I am hosting with Beverly Knight.
How preparations going?
Oh, preparations are going well. We've been having rehearsals, and Beverly is one of my favorites. I think what I love about Bev is that we are very similar in terms of how intentional our careers are and expansive they are. You know, she's really a theater person. I'm really a theater person. She's really a mainstream music recording artist. I'm really a mainstream music recording artist.
You're both really incredible.
Thank you. And we've both been sort of like doing that, she over here and me in America. And it was so interesting because her team called a couple of months ago and asked me to do a duet with her. Yeah. From a demo from a long time ago, from my first album. Yeah. And she recognized my voice. And she said, that's Billy Porter, and I want to do it as a duet.
How's the accent?
It's not bad, actually.
It's not bad. And
more Wolverhampton. She's got more of the Wolverhampton twang.
Yes, she does.
It's good.
Yes, she does. And then I got here, I said, wait till I get there, and then we'll do it.
Together.
And I couldn't even get to her before they had called and asked us to do the Olivier's together. So, like, you know, divine order is a thing.
Obviously, all I'm bothered about is what are you going to be wearing, babe? I'm
working on it. You know, I got to keep it a secret.
These are creations. When
I
you see you on the red carpet.
I know. But, you know, I have a co-host. So, you know, Beverly, I'm not.
Oh, you can't
It's not just
upstage
me.
it. Oh, yes. So what
you know what I mean? We're working together. Like, we have to be a unified.
Don't worry about that, Billy. I get upstaged every week. So.
We have to be
comes out of the dressing room, I'm like, oh,
no,
wow.
we are unified today.
We are today.
You look very unified today.
But I always wonder, you know, when you're wearing those outfits, are they comfortable? And or is it just about the beauty?
It's beauty. It's pain, honey. Pain is beauty.
When you wear something like that and then you go, do you go and then sit down in that, or do you get changed?
I
before you
did go sit down.
Lampshade one.
That lampshade one was the the heaviest.
Was it?
Because that hat was heavy. That hat was really heavy. So I did the red carpet.
And you just dragged
with
it
the
up.
little clicker that opened and closed, and then I took it off and sent it back with the milliner. It said, you take that for the rest of the night. It was so heavy.
So good, though.
It was so heavy.
We're
Thanks
so
for coming
excited.
in.
We're so excited about
Thank you.
Cabaret.
Lovely chatting.
Definitely going to come and see it.
Please come and see Cabaret. We're in it till May 24th.
If you want to stay...
Me and Marisha Wallace.
If you want to stay for jerk chicken, Rusty's cooking today. You're more than welcome.
I will stay for jerk chicken, honey.
Absolutely brilliant.
Cabaret at the Kit Kat Club now performing in London's West End until the 24th. You're until the 24th, and best of luck with
Thank you so much for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every single day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the morning.
We are joined by our finalists.
Good
Oh my
night.
God, they're so good. Yeah, we've got Michaela, we've got Sam, and we've got Anton.
Congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
I mean, look at them, they're absolutely broken.
just hobbled here.
When do I get onto a massage table? So tired.
Congratulations, you're in the final. It's so incredible. What a journey that you've been on. And Michaela, I'll be honest with you, I had to ask you the first... You have never skated before?
Well, all three of us have maybe skated, you know, with the kids.
With the kids.
Like anybody
With the penguin.
has. Yeah, with the penguin holding onto the side.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, we've gone through a lot of training. We started training last year, and we're still learning. And, I mean, every skate I do, I think I'm one toe pick away from falling. So, yeah, we've come a long way, I think.
It's a dangerous sport, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it is.
100%. So your partner, Mark, so he's been there or thereabouts, hasn't he? Has he ever won it?
No.
I think he's had it snatched away quite a few times.
Mark's been in the final 4 times. This is his last
Four?
year. Yeah, he's never skated the Bolero. So
he's never done
I
it.
feel a heck of pressure. Oh, please, let me just skate the
that would
Bolero
actually
for
be
Mark.
lovely for him to skate that.
So the way it works is one gets eliminated, one of you gets eliminated, then the final two do the Bolero.
Yeah. Yes. And then
So,
a winner
so you're all
goes.
training the Bolero right now, just in case?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you all have to do it.
And we'll all be standing there in our purple outfits, ready to perform it, and one of us won't. It's brutal.
Yeah.
Well, Anton, you was in the skate-off last week. How did that feel, and what's it like having to do it again?
It's never nice being in the skate-off, and I've been in there 3 times. But
Your scores were good, though, weren't they?
yeah, and that's what was a bit demoralising. When you score good and you're still in the skate-off, it can derail you, but I've got a great partner in the net who talks to me and tells me, come on, let's have fun, let's do it. This could be the last time we do it. Let's go and give the ice everything.
Look how good you are.
And that's what I've done.
Yes, Anton,
Thank
you are, you know, you're a central defender, yeah? So you're really light on your feet.
That wasn't something that you said to me when I played football, for sure. But if you're saying it to me now, then great.
How does it compare? Because obviously football's so instinctive, and you've got, you know, such a team sport. But when when the moment comes, you probably don't. It's second nature to you, right? It's not even thinking it. Whereas this, what's it like?
Do you know what was crazy? When I first started training, everything that my body's used to and how it's meant to combat certain things, I had to untrain and relearn because it's completely different. When you're skating, when you're going round a circle, you have to be inside it. Your body needs to be inside it. Whereas when you're playing football, you have to counterbalance to make sure that you're strong.
Yeah.
So it's complete opposite, and that's what I found really, really difficult.
Yeah.
And what about the performance side of things? Did you enjoy that?
I might have sisters that are performers, but I certainly ain't one of them. You know, it's been really, really difficult and been really, really out of my comfort zone, but I've really enjoyed embracing all the challenges that come with Dancing on Ice.
Your family are incredible. Like, you're proper achievers, right? So you and your brother, obviously, and your sister's in West End, is that?
Yeah, one's in Hamilton, in the West End.
Wow.
And the other one's just come off a worldwide tour with Romeo and Juliet, the ballet.
Wow.
Check those genes out. Yeah.
Sam, you got lifted by Molly. How was that for you?
I loved it actually. Yeah, it was good fun. And we do we have a showcase this Sunday, which we'll all get to do. And I feel lifts again. So yeah.
How did that
she's
come
strong.
about? Was she just doing it for a joke?
Yeah, no, when we get our choreography on a Monday.
Yeah.
We always like Dan and Karen will ask us like, "What are you thinking?" And Molly had said like, "Oh, I want to try and lift Sam," and then. She did it, and she was like, "Oh, he's surprisingly light. We'll just do it again." So that was it. I was like, "Brilliant! That's it. We're having it."
So good. Have you enjoyed the journey?
I have. I've really enjoyed the journey. It's mad because it's just a roller coaster, but I've absolutely loved it, and I think it's really nice to just push yourself out your comfort zone, challenge yourself, and I feel like
Because the thing is, when you grow up and do something like Corrie, and everyone knows you from Corrie, and that's your whole life, right? So you must be so comfortable. It must be like it's so easy for you in many ways, isn't it? And it's a tough job. You've got a lot of lines to learn, but to take yourself out of that comfort zone and put yourself into something like this was
and
that
to be yourself.
Were you relishing that?
It's been. I think. It's funny though because obviously in Corrie I played Chesney and he's got a lot going on and he's luck's not always been on his side. But then you come and do something like this and we've lent into like these characters a lot. They've given from like Movie Week doing Jungle Book and I was Baloo and then I've been that one last week. We've done all these mad characters, and it's been nice to be able to perform in that way because it's something so it's so out of the ordinary for me.
How's the shoulder? Because I know you've dislocated. Is it fine?
Everything's it's good.
Oh, come on, Sam, none of us are fine.
I'm a broken man. But,
when you dislocate a shoulder, what happened? Like, does somebody?
It comes out of your socket.
Yeah, but then what? So
then they have to put it back in.
Do you put it back in?
No. We've got a really good physio, haven't we, in Sharon? We're all there on a regular basis.
Michaela, basically, we just need Chris Packham to wear a bikini, so this is what we're after, isn't it?
Well, you've won the bet now, haven't you?
Still on?
He did say that he was going to turn up in a sequin leotard, but unfortunately, he's going to Costa Rica tomorrow to film, so he's not going to appear. But he's been incredibly supportive, and he watches it back and analyses it. He's so
Packham,
invested. It's so Chris,
Well, listen, don't let him off easy. I want that first...
we want a photo,
that
don't
first
we?
episode of Springwatch, I want to see him in full
He can do an
sequence.
Instagram post in the bikini.
Yeah, he needs to do an Instagram post.
Well, listen, we've got some messages for you because it is a big day on Sunday. These people wanted to say good luck.
Hello, Michaela. Chris here. I'm rooting for you. The foxes are rooting for you. The badgers, the mice, the stoats, the weasels, the birds, even the slugs are rooting for you, Michaela Strachan.
Anton, myself, Kate and the kids, and all the family, actually, we're all proud of you, man. Take care, and I'll be screaming! Come on!
Good luck, Sam! You're brilliant, mate.
Smash it, mate.
We love you. We miss you. We're very proud of you.
We're keeping it warm for you.
Come on, Chutney.
Don't fall over. Don't fall over.
Come on, Chutney.
Chutney.
Nice.
Oh,
best of luck, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's going to be amazing.
You can catch Dancing on Ice in the final this Sunday, 6:30 on ITV1.
Hi, everyone. Just wanted to say thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. Now, listen, we upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning.
It's been 20 years since our next guest completely transformed the way our children eat at school.
Back in 2005, Jamie Oliver shone a light on what was really being served up at lunchtime in his groundbreaking documentary series, Jamie's School Dinners.
But despite huge changes, 2 decades on, Jamie says work still needs to be done, and he joins us now to tell us more. 20 years.
20 years, Britain. Where did that go?
I have no idea. But it has really changed for the better.
To prove it.
But it has really changed for the better, hasn't it?
It's changed for the better, for sure. I think general standards have gone up across the board. Better and good services is definitely way more common. 24,000 schools, the biggest food system in the country, bigger than any franchise.
Yeah.
It's a massive responsibility. And I've carried on doing it ever since. And you know, what we have to try and keep doing is making sure they all get better. So there's still, in my opinion, it's not scientific, about 40% of schools are struggling to meet standards. I think probably 60% are meeting standards, probably 20% are over-delivering. And obviously, when I did the documentary, it was kind of a sad tale about what we feed our kids 190 days of the year from the age of 4 to 16. There were standards, you know, governed by law, which were set for dog food, which is classic for Crufts going on, but nothing for our children's food.
Isn't that crazy, though, the fact that that was the case?
It was very British to regard dogs over our kids.
Yeah.
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 And so we created the first nutritional standards.
Yeah.
And obviously the banter around turkey twizzlers came from when we created minimum standards for a meat product. So I got them raised to 65% meat in, say, a sausage or a patty, and anything that didn't qualify for that, and there are all kind of tricks of mechanically reclaimed meats and all kinds of fillers and additives and E-numbers. If they didn't qualify to the standards, they couldn't sell to schools anymore. So I think a lot of the public would never imagine, for anyone that works out there, like there were government contracts 15, 25 years to look after a borough or a county. Massive government contracts for commercial businesses. Can you imagine getting when have you had a 25-year contract? It's like, it doesn't
extraordinary,
exist. So, yeah, there was a bit of uncovering to do, but ultimately it was about how do we feed our kids? 190 days of the year, breakfast and lunch is pretty much half a child's nutrition for their whole childhood. So, of course, when the state are responsible for that, we have this amazing opportunity to fill our kids up with the good stuff and create a school which is learning, a place where kids get to explore and try new things.
I think one of the things that shocked me, though, and it's still, when we look back at it, what you were trying to do was help parents, help schools, and most importantly, help the kids. You were only trying to... It was coming from 100%. A really positive place. But the pushback you got at the time... I mean, you mentioned the turkey twizzlers thing. The amount of vitriol that you faced because you were taking...
Oh, yeah.
You were taking this or trying to take this off the menu seems extraordinary.
Yeah, I mean, like, normally in life, when you improve something by law and you give them more for their money, you get thanked for it. But no, I got quite a lot of grief about that. But I think now those kids are parents of kids. So I had grief for, like, 10 years. Like, you took away my Twizzlers. But now they've got kids, it's sort of like, oh, yeah, like, it's probably a good idea to not feed them rubbish every day and maybe get some more good stuff into them. But I think more to the point is generally humans or the public's capacity for change isn't great. We don't like change. No. And I guess what I was trying to prove is that we had to change because the pain of not changing was going to be worse. So we're still fighting for child health and we're still struggling with child health. And diet-related disease is still one of the biggest killers in this country. The NHS is still under a lot of... It's all linked.
Yeah. Obesity rates are up. We were talking about that.
And we've never cooked less than now, and we've never eaten less veg than now. So it's... we're not in a great place, and I just think that school has this opportunity, if it's supported correctly. There's amazing cooks around the country, by the way. And the School Food Awards was actually... a different strategy, because instead of telling a story about what was going wrong, I wanted the awards to really amplify and give love and credit to schools, teachers, cooks.
So let's talk about this.
Yeah,
it's the Good
year, right?
School Food Awards that you've been doing for 3 years.
It's been amazing. So what we're trying to do is share with the country what good looks like, so that parents that are not happy, and there's parents watching now going, our service is not good enough. Then we want to show you what good looks like because it's yours to have. The standards are everyone's standards for 24,000 schools. Yeah. So when we shine a light on schools that are smashing it, and you see like how it is when you have a supportive head teacher, when you've got like a cook and a team that are delivering against all the odds, even with equipment breaking down. Like, so I just want to find those people, and that's where I need your audience's help.
Yes.
Because today we're opening the floodgates.
For nominations.
If you have a school food educator, if you've got a cook, a head teacher, a rising star that's doing amazing things in providing amazing food for your kids, please help me celebrate them, pat them on the back, surprise them, give them love. They get prizes. We make little films. And like last year's winners, is amazing because the schools got busier, so now they're turning people away because everyone wants to go to the school. Like, the staffing issues have gone in the school because everyone knows it's a school of excellence. So this little bit of love is really helping the schools, helping the cooks, and, of course, helping the kids.
It's great to just celebrate people who really care and who are doing a great job as well.
I spent all that time doing sad stories, about, you know, which is important to tell the truth and what's going on, but it's much nicer to celebrate excellence.
It's lovely. I was saying to Jamie, I went in the other day into my little boy's school and I met all the dinner ladies and I met Lou, who's in charge.
So you got to have lunch with all the kids?
And I sat down and had like...
Lovely idea.
And it was a brilliant idea because it's just acknowledging, wow, you're doing a great job here.
These cooks are amazing.
Yeah.
They do incredible things with hardly any resource.
Yes.
They're feeding our beautiful kids. It's honestly, if you told chefs you've got to feed 350 people, 1,000 people in 45 minutes, they would cry.
Yeah.
They are doing. they are really, really doing it. I think the reason I've carried on doing school dinners in 20 years is because, no disrespect to any government, and I'm completely apolitical, we always consider school dinners like a luxury, not a necessity. And the science, the nutrition, just backs up if we feed our kids right, we can educate them better.
Yes.
That we know we've proved that their mental educational attainment is better, the results are better. We know that if we give certain nutrients into their food, their brain functions better. So this is all part of just running a great school. And if I didn't keep that up for 20 years, I know governments would have wriggled out of it because it's a couple of quid they can, you know, save on here and save on there. But yeah, to celebrate these cooks, I mean, last year's cook made a kitchen, because they had nothing, out of an old stationery cupboard.
That's just brilliant.
And he was knocking out 350 covers out of that little stationery cupboard, restaurant quality food. He won the award, and he's one of the few men, actually, that's in the industry. It's generally driven by women and mothers of the schools, actually, generally. But what he does is amazing. He's got other awards since. So, yeah, really beautiful. We had the school food educator. They shut her part of the school down because of asbestos. And off her own back, she was kind of renting, like, village halls and other things in the town, and she carried on teaching the kids, and they all got their GCSEs. So, like, these are special
heroes.
People. Yeah, and look, they're doing it for the love.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's nice to amplify the input. When I started school dinners, often the cooks didn't feel part of the school.
Yeah.
It was like a little side note.
Yeah, I remember that.
So it's really about making it fully inclusive. And, of course, if the kids get fed right, the teachers do as well.
Yeah, it all works.
Brilliant.
It all works. We have the This Morning Award as well.
We
this year for
do.
the first time, which we're excited about.
Yes, we do. Lifetime achievement.
Lifetime achievement.
Many of you watching might have had a wonderful dinner lady that was there when you were there, and they're probably still cooking there now.
Imagine.
People that have done 20 years, 30 years. So our job together is to go and find a lifetime achievement cook that has served sometimes 3 or 4 generations of kids.
Rachel, I've said this before, Rachel Tasker's mum at Epping Infant School I was. She was amazing, Mrs Tasker, because we had to finish our food before. It's a different time. You had to finish food before you left, and there was some food, I think it was corned beef, I didn't like, and she knew it. She always used to scrape it off my plate quietly and put it down. So she knew.
You got it even then, hadn't you?
Cats
You know,
was winking at them to get extra portions.
Yes, that's your one.
Milo was, exactly. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, hello.
I know you're going to
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning. And the stars of the brand new Bergerac, Damien Maloney and Zoe Monoacre, join us. Now, good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Tell us what you just said looking at that trailer.
Well, every time I see that trailer, I just remember how much, fake tan I had to wear, because I have very, pale Irish skin.
And Jersey's a very sunny island.
Very beautiful sunny island, and I'm supposed to spend quite a lot of time on the island.
You look very healthy.
Thank you very much.
It's wonderful for us as kids who grew up in the 80s watching Bergerac to see the series in its reboot. Neither of you actually had watched it or watched the original series. Zoe, you hadn't?
No, I hadn't. No, I just remember John Nettles and I used to go horse riding on a Saturday when we weren't working at Stratford, when we were
with you at the RSC?
Yes.
Yeah.
Doing some...
And so that's, we knew each other, we had fun, but we never did a show together.
But it was a big show, and Damien, you hadn't seen it?
No, I hadn't seen it, and really, I kind of only really reminded how big it was when I found out I had the job, and kind of family members would come up and say, "Oh my God, Damien, the car, the jacket, Jersey."
Yes.
And I was like, "What is this?"
Did you meet John? Did you go and meet John and maybe talk to him about? Because obviously it's very big shoes to fill as well. People remember the show so fondly.
Yeah, like you say, such wonderful, nostalgic memories of the show. I didn't meet John before we shot, but I met him afterwards. I went down to Torquay on the train to meet him. We had lunch. And honestly, we just kind of compared notes on Jersey. You know, the places that we would go to visit and where we stayed when we were there. And I could sit listening to him for hours. I don't listen to any podcasts, but I would listen to a podcast of John Nettles talking about each episode of Bergerac, because he remembers everyone sharp as a tack.
And you worked with him at the Royal Shakespeare Company, Zoe?
Well, we never were in a show together.
OK, but you're part of the company?
We were part of that company.
I see.
78, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yes.
So way before, before Bergerac came out as well. But what I loved about how they've reinvented or rebooted this is your character in the original was Jim Bergerac's father-in-law. In this one, you're Jim Bergerac's mother-in-law.
Yeah.
So, and still called Charlie?
Still called Charlie.
And still quite feisty and still trying to keep Bergerac on the straight and narrow.
I can't tell you that because I've never watched the original. I never watched Charlie when he was a man.
But Charlie as a woman, though, describe Charlie as a woman.
Formidable, I think.
Well, we see her, the first time we see her in this show is when she's trying... There's been a death. Her daughter and...
My wife.
And your wife. Yes. And so the first time it's about a relationship changes when somebody dies, I think. Or there's a divorce or something. Everybody has to reassess how they are together, their relationship together. And I think that's when you see this... It's a kind of crisis for both of them, for all three of them, actually.
Their daughter as well,
Yes, and it's because... It's about protection, so she's trying to protect
her
granddaughter and watching a man who is obsessed with being who he is. And so it's a very... You see a confrontation immediately because they're trying to readjust. And I think that, from that premise, I thought that was a good kick-off.
And it's quite different because it's one case that spreads over 6 episodes, right?
Yes, exactly. As opposed to when John was Bergerac, it was a case a week.
OK.
So it means that we have more time, I think, to get stuck into the characters and to the relationships. And I've always really seen this as a family drama between a mother-in-law and a father and a daughter who are, like you say, in complete crisis. And it just so happens that this kind of very thrilling detective kind of investigation kind of ripples its way through the series.
The one thing that is the same, though, if not just a bit slightly older, that beautiful burgundy, gorgeous machine.
The car.
Isn't it amazing?
Oh, the car. I didn't know what you were talking about.
Me?
She was literally away then.
And like I said, that was the first
Did you get to drive it?
I got to step into the car.
Oh, they don't trust you that much.
Well, I think in the nature of filming, you know, it's kind of, you know, you start the car and you drive it for a couple of meters and then you stop and you reverse and you take after take after take. And a car that's as old as that, because it is the original car that John drove in the very first series of Bergerac. It just wouldn't be able to kind of maintain that. So,
right.
But what I think Toby Whithouse, our writer, has done so brilliantly is that the car is a character in the show. That my wife has bought the car for Jim as a project while she's sick.
Yeah.
And then when she passes away, it kind of becomes his obsession, and he sleeps in the car at night time. And it's I just thought I loved that resonance.
So you didn't really get to drive that, but Zoe, he did take you for a drive though, because there is some driving scenes between the two of you.
Well, yes.
Yeah, I got to. We closed a road in Torquay where we were filming, and I drove Zoe just at a bit of a lick because
she's not over it.
Sorry.
Was it a bit of a lick, Zoe?
It was great, but it was a surprise. I tell you, I mean.
Because I'm a very safe driver, but Jim isn't. So that was kind of my license.
So that's why you had to go.
A license to thrill,
Apparently.
We've loved it. It's really fascinating watching you come back and doing your own version. It's not the only reboot that's happening, though. Zoe, the Harry Potter reboot is happening. They're doing a TV series of Harry Potter. Is that another reboot that you'd be tempted to sort of get involved with as well? Would you go back and do that again?
No, I think it's a reboot of something new.
Right.
The same as Bergerac. It's a new way of looking at it. And I think somebody else should take over and change it if they want. So it's like Bergerac, it's a completely different ballgame now.
Yeah.
Not been quite as long between the two, of course. Harry Potter didn't end 34 years ago. I mean, that's the interesting thing,
isn't it? 34 years?
Since Bergerac was, yeah.
Oh, Bergerac.
She's still hurtling down a country lane in that car at high speed. I think.
What did you do to her?
Sorry, never again.
No, it's okay. No, but Harry Potter, I mean, the books for me, were... I mean, when I was doing My Family, Gabriel, who played the young boy, he was obsessed. And his face was in it, in the book, instead of being on set.
Yes.
And I thought I'd try and read it and see... The first book, it's my kind of book.
Right.
It's bringing magic into the 21st century.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I loved. And so it was fascinating. So I could see why he wasn't... I mean, it was amazing when it came out.
And on World Book Day as well, imagine there's going to be lots of Harrys and Hermione's going to school today. Thank you both for joining us. It's a real treat to catch up with you. All the episodes of the new series of Bergerac are available to stream for free on You, or you can watch Thursdays at 9 p.m. on the You and Drama. Oh, hello. Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning.
We'll go back to script now. From bringing historical figures like Eva Peron to stage and transforming the story of Shakespeare's Hamlet into an animated cartoon about a lion, there's not much that our next guest hasn't been able to achieve.
He is undoubtedly one of the world's most legendary lyricists. Not reasonable, legendary lyricists. And one of the few who has achieved the acclaimed EGOT status by winning an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar and a Tony.
Not to mention a knighthood and a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. No biggie.
And now Sir Tim Rice is stepping out from behind the curtain and onto the stage to share some of his stories from an incredible career. Tim, it's lovely to have you here.
Lovely to be here.
We've been gassing backstage, we've been talking here. There's so much to talk about. I'm always fascinated by this because as someone who has helped create the lyrics and the music that then you watch other performers go and do, have you always harboured that sort of itch that you want to scratch, which is you'd quite like to get out there and do a little bit of performing yourself?
Yes, a bit. I'm not good enough, but I had a pop group at school.
Did you?
Which I enjoyed enormously.
Did you have a name?
Well, we were called the Aardvarks. Well, it was alphabetically on any bill. If there was an alphabetical bill,
they were first.
We'd be even ahead of ABBA.
The Beatles will be.
Yeah, not that ABBA or the Beatles were around at the time. But I also had.
Did you ever make it onto a bill with either of them as well?
No. I don't know why. But we also had friends and I had a rock band which has only recently disbanded. They were called Wang and the Cheviots, and I used to love singing with them. I mean, we had a couple of singers, quite good musicians.
Yeah.
But me and Bill, what sang, we were competent. We knew the words.
Yeah.
That was the main.
Were you Wang?
There was a great dispute within the band as to who was Wang. In fact, I think that's why we split up.
Artistic differences.
Yeah, right.
Decide who could be Wang or not. So let's talk a little bit about this show then, Tim. Because
let's talk a lot about this show.
Well, there's so much in it. It's a sort of the history of your career, how you got started, some of the things you've done.
I've got 4 wonderful singers, West End singers, and nice band led by Duncan Ward, comes from Sutton Coldfield.
Clement supporter.
And right. And basically, I tell the stories behind the songs. I mean, there are maybe 20 songs in the show.
Fabulous.
And people who like musicals, who I assume is my main audience, would probably know 15 or 16 of them. But there's a few flops and a few unknown ones. And I tell the story about the composers I've worked with. I mean, Andrew, Elton John, Alan Menken, Bjorn and Benny. It's a pretty good lineup.
Not bad.
Of songwriters. I mean, I'm very lucky because if you've got tunes from these sort of guys, you'd have to be pretty bad not to get some sort of success with them.
Well, you say that, but what I love, I mean, it's great because you'll be able to enjoy the songs that we all know and love, the really big successes. I'm fascinated by the flops, though, Tim, the ones that didn't make it. Can you give us a little insight to some of the ideas that came around?
Well, there was an early version of the song that became I Don't Know How to Love Him, which was a very successful song in Jesus Christ Superstar, and that was originally written as a pop song. And out of context, because Andrew and I, when we were beginning, we were trying to write anything, and Joseph was the thing that really got us going. But we wrote 1 or 2 pop songs which were pretty bad, and they were particularly bad in the words division. But some of the tunes, when it came to writing Superstar, which was a great idea, and it was going well, and we lacked a big ballad for Mary Magdalene. And Andrew had this wonderful tune. He said, well, what about this, song, Kansas Morning? And I said, well, I don't think Jesus was ever in Kansas. No, change the lyrics. And so I did, and I wrote, frankly, I said here, publicly, a good lyric. Ooh. I Don't Know How to Love Him is a pretty good lyric.
Yeah.
Yes.
Better than Kansas Morning, anyway.
A little bit.
But the punters who come to the show will hear Kansas Morning.
Oh, they'll get a sense of what it would have been.
And I Don't Know How to Love Him, so it's not all bad.
For me, when we were reading all about you and what you've done, one of the most interesting stories was Joseph. The fact that Joseph was kind of almost an accident. It was never supposed to be this huge West End hit with How did it start off?
Well, we'd written a musical, Andrew and I, a rather conventional musical, which wasn't bad. The tunes were actually better than the lyrics, I think. We'd only just met. And the musical had a demo. We made a demo tape of it in those far-off days. And it was played to lots of people, and we didn't really get anywhere with it, quite rightly. But a schoolmaster, a friend of Andrew's, heard it and said, while you two are waiting for your obvious success with this show, why don't you write something for my kids? And that was a bit of a come-down, because we had these dreams of the West End, and we were writing for one concert for 7-year-old and 8-year-old boys. But so we wrote Joseph very quickly, and we wanted it to be fun, and we didn't have to obey any theatrical rules. And we were, by mistake, creating a sort of slightly new style. And the school loved it. It was a big success. It was done again, and gradually and very slowly, Joseph got bigger, and it wasn't a West End hit until after Superstar. Wow. But what it did get us back in 69, 70 was management, an album. I mean, it got us onto the path.
The platform began.
It's an amazing story there.
It is.
Yeah, we were very lucky. I mean, we didn't quite know what we were doing. That's been the story of my career.
Wouldn't it be amazing? Do you ever bump into any of those kids that did the first ever version?
Yes, I don't recognise them because they're now all 65 and with beards. But one day, not that long ago, in Chiswick, I bumped into 2 of them on totally separate occasions.
Yeah.
And people occasionally come up to me and say, "Yeah, I was in Joseph in Colin Court School," and obviously they were. And it's extraordinary, because I still think of the performers as being 8, 9, 10.
Yes, of course.
But these big, bearded, handsome devils come up and say, hey.
It's a very different thing. So we know about your relationship with Andrew Lloyd Webber, of course, but I think one of the things I was gripped by was the relationship and how you work with different songwriters. So whether they want the words first or the music come first. And when you're working with Sir Elton, which you did on The Lion King, that was a very different sort of working relationship for you.
Yes. The key for any writing team doing musicals is to get the story right. You've got to know what the story is. And you can't just say, here are 8 great songs, or even 8 reasonable songs. You've got to have a story, and therefore, that's got to come first. And I think every musical has 3 main elements in the writing. I mean, obviously, directing and dancing and all that comes later. And you've got to have a story, and you've got to have words, and you've got to have music.
Yes.
And the story must come first, and then it doesn't really matter which comes second. But at each stage, obviously, everybody has to approve or be happy with what's being done. The interesting thing about writing with Elton, it was the first time I'd done it, writing words first, was that it was quite dangerous for me not to get too long-winded, not to ramble, as I am now, frankly. I mean, because if you have a great tune, like the tune of I Don't Know How to Love Him, you've got to be concise. You've got to say something in 9 syllables.
Yeah, you have to work within the parameter.
Right, exactly. But if you're writing just random words, there's a great danger. You might go on and on and on. Right. And on the whole, being concise is better than being long-winded. I'll shut up now.
You are working again with Andrew now.
Yeah.
What's that like?
Well, it's great. I mean, I've always been in touch with Andrew over the years, and we did do 1 or 2 songs after the last big show we did together was Evita. But we've done the odd thing, like we did a new song for Madonna in the film of Evita, and we've done the odd song. We did a song for a wonderful singer called Shona Deeley, who's actually on the tour. So we've always written something.
Did you have a falling out at some point, Tim? Was this overblown?
A few arguments, you know, sort of bit of handbags at dawn. You know,
was it about who's Wang and who's not? Was that what it was?
Andrew was never Wang. Andrew was not in Wang and the Kevins. No, basically, this is a comedy written by 2 brilliant comedy writers, Humphrey Carr and David Reed, and it's called Sherlock Holmes and the 12 Days of Christmas, and it's opening in Birmingham in November, and it's about a serial killer in Victorian London who's murdering people in line with the verses of the 12 Days of Christmas. So there's a lot of dead birds in the show.
And 5 gold rings along the way as well.
Right, 5 gold rings. And it's definitely a play, but we've just added at the author's request 2 or 3 songs, maybe 4, which are just, I mean, it definitely isn't a Weber Rice musical, but it's a wonderful comedy with a few songs by us.
Is it lovely coming back together, the shorthand that the two of you have now?
Oh, it's paradise.
And there's more to that.
It's great. It's great. I mean, he's still writing wonderful stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and it's you know, it's like I've been so lucky. You know, I've had work with Alan Menken, Bjorn and Benny, Elton, Andrew, Mike Batt, John Barry. I've even done a couple of songs with Freddie Mercury, the late great.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was he was such a lovely man. I love Freddie.
Oh, I could listen to you, in your own words, waffle all day.
Well, I've got time.
Okay, excellent. I'll just finish doing this first and then we'll...
Yeah, don't go anywhere.
Tickets for Tim's live show, My Life in Musicals, I Know Him So Well, are available now, plus tickets for Sherlock Holmes and the 12 Days of Christmas are also available online.
Yeah,
we're going to the Palladium.
Yeah, we're going to come and see Tim. Thank you, Tim. It's lovely.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out, and we'll see you in the morning.
Guests, we're just discussing whether they are national treasures or national trashes. We know exactly what they are.
Yeah.
From tackling topical news stories to revealing some very personal insights and opinion, the Loose Women have been bringing us a daily dose of discussion and lunchtime laughs for an incredible 25 years.
And now fans of the show are able to get even more up close and personal with some of their favourite panellists in a brand new podcast. Denise Welsh and Jane Moore join us now. I mean, you didn't think you could get any more up close and personal.
Well, I know we've all shared our lives for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, it does make me laugh when you get people on some of the more cruel social media channels and they go, you know, oh, Denise Welsh, it's always about you. It's like, yes, that's the show. That's in our contract.
That's the point.
It's meant to be about us. It's an opinion and anecdotally led show, which is very different from some of the other shows where you all will have to remain much more neutral.
Yeah, and to be honest, that's the beauty of it. You feel like you're sitting down with your mates and you could be having a cup of tea or a cup of coffee and just having a chat.
Yeah, like the viewer is the fifth Loose Women.
Yes.
And like when we did the live tour, I think, because when you do telly, don't you know people are watching, but you're looking at a camera. So when we did the tour, we suddenly saw all these fans of Loose Women, like, coming to see us.
We were like a nana rock band at the stage.
We were. It was like, it was amazing, wasn't it? So I think then the germ of the idea was, oh, OK, well, we could do something a little bit extra, you know, which is maybe a little bit more intimate for the people to get to hear more of us.
We always... Because we usually, you know, we have certain topics that we give our opinion on and, you know, if there's time, our anecdotes on. But, you know what it's like, 30 seconds, 20 seconds. And so the podcast, it's not late night loose, so we still can't be rude and sweary, but which is very difficult for us. But it's going to be a little bit more about our lives. So we will be asking each other questions. Jane and I have actually known each other for 40 years, way before Loose Women was a twinkle in the eye.
I fill in all her blanks. And there are quite a few over
I say, Jane, remember Amsterdam, I shall say no more.
But you know what, Denise, because I've listened to the first one with you and Ida.
Yeah.
And it's so personal. And you talk about Matty and your postnatal depression, but in a really honest, open, no-holds-barred way.
I mean, that's what's so lovely, that we have the time to let these subjects breathe a bit more. Yeah. And I think that I have talked about the onset of my depression, which started postnatally many times, but not in as much depth as I was able to do on that show.
Yeah.
And then similarly, I've known Ida for a long time, but I've always wanted to talk to her, if she was open to it, about did she feel different when she gave birth to her own children, because she had two by surrogate. And so it was just lovely to have a conversation with someone I've known a long time. But
it's lovely. Talk of filling in the blanks, we also want someone to fill in the blanks on the night out with Robbie where you woke up, both of you covered in toothpaste.
Yeah, and
you don't want to go there.
And we've got no idea why. You know what? Why I said that was because we were talking about addiction, and the people who live and love those with addiction often get left behind. I'm an addict, Robbie's an addict, and we were together in the bad old days. But you live with so much shame with addiction. You have to sometimes try and lighten it, because otherwise it will drive you to despair. Yep. So sometimes you have to think, oh my God, not a good look, but do you remember the time we woke up in Notting Hill covered in toothpaste? We don't know why, we just had great breath.
That'll be another podcast. Explain that. But so it works out, as you heard, that so the first one is
First one of the week is a Tuesday, every Tuesday, and it's sort of more of an in-depth chat. And then the one on a Friday is us answering questions from viewers. So we're about to record, Judy and Nadia are doing that this week.
That'll be released on Friday.
That'll be released on Friday.
So next week I'm doing one with GK Barry.
Oh, great.
Doing it. But she informed me, she's 25, and I realised that she was born the day I started doing Loose Women.
Yes, because it's 25 years older. The day.
Which just makes me feel so old. And I saw that clip you just showed.
But that'll be fascinating, that
I had
dynamic.
collagen then.
Look at...
I had collagen. Look at... Oh, my God.
Look at me, I've got the same hair and the same suit on, I think. Oh, my God.
Look at the set as well. Oh, so much. I mean, but I think there's an interesting thing, Jane, isn't there? Because as a journalist yourself that has conducted untold interviews, the fact that you can sit down, it'll be GK that you're with next week, and actually the two of you interview each other and chat, but it's long form, and we are very constrained because it's live television. And you can just talk.
Breathe, as you just said, you know, because sometimes they will literally say to you, oh, tell your story, you know, tell about your postnatal depression. 30 seconds. You end up sounding like Chip and Dale trying to get it all in before the... So it's just nice to have a more intimate sort of feel to it,
By the way, Laura, who's counting in our area today, said it's not my fault.
It's not my fault.
We know it's not your fault. No.
Yeah.
It's the others. It's the others. But I think there's something, and listening to that first episode as well, we got to know you all so brilliantly over the years, and it's amazing to think there is extra stuff in there, but there really is, and it's something that the podcast world is exploding, and there's podcasts everywhere. I think you're currently 7.
We're number 7 in the Apple
charts.
Which is not bad,
and there's still an appetite for more.
Yeah, and people can take us on a dog walk now, you know, or into the loo, as you said. Not so keen on that one, but etc.
And, you know, it's like Jane said, we're the only show on television, I think, that, you know, with 4 women, we range from 25 to 85. And it's a show that not only celebrates women, it reveres and listens to older women's voices.
Yes.
And younger women's voices. And I think that's so rare on television.
How do you think it's changed, Denise? How do you think the show's changed, both of you, actually?
I think the fundamentals are still the same.
I think so. And you know, it's never about one person. It evolves over the years.
People have their favourite lineups.
Yeah, you've got the people that have been there a long time, but it's always nice to have a bit of new blood in and get different conversations going. And, you know, we didn't really grow up in the social media age, so it's really interesting to hear GK's take on that, and obviously Frankie and Stacey and so on. So yeah, and yeah, I just think for me it's the best job in television.
Absolutely.
For me, watching it as another woman watching the show, I love it when you guys have heated debates about stuff and you can really disagree. And then you still...
We never even talk about it off stage.
No, you're the best of me.
And then we end up on the front of a magazine, like, with a paint, like,
that's
Jane and Denise
in toxic feud. It's so ridiculous.
Yes, so ridiculous.
I'm 67 this year. If you think that I would voluntarily come into a job with a toxic environment, I wouldn't. I don't have to, and I wouldn't. We have never had a row in all of the years that we've worked. I mean, me and Carol McGiffin, we used to have some humdingers on there. We never even talked about it when we got off stage. People like to pit women against each other. The reason we're all there, me 23 years, Jane 25, is because we all love women.
Yes, and I love watching you just be women as well.
But there has been, Jane, I think there's that because of the advent of social media particularly, there's the nuance of having a discussion that can get quite heated, but doesn't have to end up being...
And then it gets clipped out of context,
That's what's happened. I think there's been a big change.
But for me, I just think I just can't worry about that kind of thing. It's like if somebody takes a clip out of context, I'll just put up the context or just not bother engaging. Because, you know, that's just the way life is now. And I think if you go down that rabbit hole, you'll just drive yourself mad. And you'll say nothing about anything ever.
No, so. I think the thing about the podcast as well, because it's more long form, that happens less. Like Jane said, you might be taken out of context because you start something really important and then you get your, sorry, we've got to cut this, we've got to cut this. And then, you know, the headlines are all because they haven't heard the full thing. So it's really an exciting time. And we would love to hear, I think it's loose.women@itv.com, to hear anybody's questions that they've got. We'll answer most things. We're not life coaches. We're not life coaches like everybody is these days after a 2-day course.
Any questions off limits, or is it pretty much anything goes?
Well, we're not. When we were on tour with the live show, no question was off limits, and that was juicy stuff. But obviously, we will have to temper some of them.
Well, the end of the podcast, the first one, gets quite juicy when you're talking about Dream Men and
Thor, yeah.
Thor
and,
Idris,
Bradley Cooper. And I missed The Rock out as well. The Rock's a big one of mine.
You've sorted that out. Will you take questions on I'm a Celebrity, things like that, Jane? Because
absolutely. You asked me. We did the pilot podcast together, and you asked me about I'm a Celebrity.
No, I did absolutely because I'd not had a chance to chat to her about it.
I loved it. Oh my God, I go in every year.
Would you?
She would, yeah.
Loved it.
It was.
They're starting to ask people now for this year's, and I'm just like, do it. It's brilliant.
When Kate went in, I remember thinking, I've always thought I'd never want to do it, but it just looked like she had such a lovely time.
You would love it, and you'd be great because you're quite outdoorsy.
You'd be like action man.
I'd just be a bit boring. I'd just be a bit boring because I don't think I'd like. I think you want contestants that are going to be a little bit scared, a little bit squeamish, and I'm just going to embrace it. I just love it. I just be a bit too.
Well, you'd be so.
You would get competitive though.
And there's a bit of that. Yeah, there's a bit of that.
For sure, you would. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you so much.
Are you on the show today?
We are.
You're going from here to next door?
We are. I'm going to have me Marmite and toast and then get on the other show.
Really lovely to see you both. Thanks for dropping in.
Thank you.
So it's already number 7 in the Apple Podcast charts. You can find out why if you listen to the first episode of Loose Women, the podcast, by downloading it. Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning.